auto start. You got to actually hit go live still. So, welcome to the first episode of the Full Circle podcast. I'm Freddie B42. This is all pro AJ over here to my left.
Yes, it is.
Maybe you're right. I don't know how this is going to end up looking on the video version. If it's still your left, then
Still the left.
yeah, easy to figure out. So basically, if you've been to this channel before, I used to do a lot of Fortnite streams, Fortnite mobile streams, mostly Fortnite mobile. Bless you, sir. That was my dog, Charlie. So basically, it was a whole bunch of Fortnite streams, Fortnite mobile, and just little montages of that. Rocket League. I don't know if I put any golf on this channel yet. I might have put one that got no views, so nobody saw it anyway. Even
Not a
if
golf channel.
whether I put it up there or not, nobody saw it anyway. But no, this is going to turn into a whole lot more IRL thing. We're going to try to do a weekly just stream in general on Tuesdays with myself and AJ here. And in general, we have our Full Circle Golf channel that we started. We haven't posted nothing to yet.
Not yet.
Me and him just started golfing this year, and we're getting the content made, and I got to find an editor or learn how to edit myself. So yeah, that's how life's going right now. I'm doing a lot of talking, so AJ, tell us about yourself. Please introduce yourself.
This is AJ. Like I said, this whole thing's gonna be a learning experience. Like I said, we need an editor, or you can figure it out because I'm not going to. Nope, not for me. We're planning on doing this. You said every Tuesday. You said
Yeah, normally
Yeah,
that's
once a week,
kind
yeah.
of the plan.
Yeah, we might switch it up. You could always do posting on the golf channel separate from this.
Yeah, golf channel separate.
Oh, all right then. Yeah, we'll keep golf away from here then. Good call.
We could talk little golf if it comes into like the major sports, like the Masters, the Open, maybe the Ryder Cup. That's U.S. versus Europe.
Okay.
So maybe that shit when it pops up. But guess what? It's not golf season. So if you want to see golf, go to Full Circle Golf on YouTube and what is it? At Full Circle Golf, at full_circle_ golf on Twitter.
Yeah,
I think.
that's gonna be a growing thing. We just came up with the
I feel like
logo and the avatar, the banner.
I'm still bald. For anybody that didn't know, still bald.
I'm working on it.
No catfishing here. Still bald. I mean, it looks like I have hair here. It's like, oh yeah, that man's got a full head of hair.
What?
It's like,
I lied.
I lied. Oh, my bad. Continue. You didn't tell us anything about yourself. You just basically asked two questions about the podcast.
No, you're right. No, so it's our learning experience that we're talking about.
Yeah.
Me, I play sports. That's what I do. Play football, a little bit of baseball. We play golf. I got a marathon coming up in March. Did I tell you that?
No.
Oh yeah, no, I'm doing that in March. Yeah,
Oh.
I'm running a marathon.
Pittsburgh Marathon?
No, this one's out of state. And yeah.
Surprise, you and out of state going together. Who would have guessed?
Yeah, me and out of state kind of go hand in hand with anything I do. There's not enough
Excuse
going
me.
on here, but I always come back because I love Pittsburgh. I love it.
Where are you doing the marathon at? I didn't even know you ran marathon. I didn't know you could run
An extended period of time.
a tenth of a marathon.
First
Excuse
off,
me.
yeah, I've done a 5K before. It's like I do a tenth of a marathon.
Okay.
And I have no intention of training. That's kind of. I want to see how well I do without training. That way, the next time I do it, I want a comparison. I need that
Baseline?
baseline exactly.
Dying.
No,
Do you know how far 26 miles is?
it's a little bit longer than 5 or 10.
That's from like here to Pittsburgh.
I got it. Full send.
My
I
God.
got 4 hours, maybe even 5 if I.
I don't think they have a time limit on it. I think you would.
They have like a recommended time frame. Like, don't be like 75 and walk it.
Well, I think the record is actually. I think someone's run a marathon in just under 2 hours, but an official time of like 2 minutes. 2 hours and like 1 minute. I think is his official marathon time, but he did like a charity event thing, so it wasn't an official full
Yeah.
marathon, but he ran marathon length, and he did it in just under 2 hours. Like, think about that. Think about that.
I mean, fair. What is it? 26.1 miles or is it 26?
Let's just say 26 even for easy math. That's 13 miles in an hour. That's
I plan on doing it in under 4. That's my plan. That's my plan. Under 4 hours.
I mean, if the average human walks like 3 miles an hour,
Yeah.
so that's just 8 hours right there.
Yeah.
And then some change. 8 hours, 40 minutes.
Sure.
But jog a little bit. But I feel like that puts you down right there to like, at minimum, the 6 hour mark.
I'm pretty sure I'm getting under 4. That's my goal. Is under 4.
So
That's my baseline.
don't kill yourself at the beginning. Like I would
No, no. It's gonna be a steady.
walk a mile, jog a mile. Walk a mile, jog a mile.
Jog. The full thing's a jog. I'm gonna be having people next to me. They're my pacemaker. You know, I'm a stubborn person. So
Yeah.
if they start passing me, I pass them. You know, it's like
Just
an
don't care.
irritating person on the highway.
Just don't kill yourself, because if you do that, then I'm not coming to scrape you up off the road. Just throwing that out there.
Best part is, I'm sponsored, so I didn't pay for any of the.
Who sponsored you?
It's called Aid Nation. They're like water filtration kind
Uh-huh.
of thing. Okay. They actually represent the what's it called Pittsburgh Passion as well.
No.
Yeah.
How'd they sponsor you?
Well, because I know some people on the Pittsburgh Passion as well.
So they running with
Not that I know of.
you? What the?
It's,
How does any of this tie together then?
you know how I do things. It's just how they need to loosely tie together.
It doesn't tie together. That's the whole
They need
thing.
to sound like they could tie together. That's about it.
Charlie's over here begging for attention. I
Yeah,
can't
I
really
do.
give it to him. No, you have to ignore him, so he'll like leave us alone. If you don't ignore him, he's just constantly gonna be here begging for it.
Yeah, but they want them here.
No, that's the thing. Like I can't have that. If I don't want to put him up either, because then he's just gonna be a real pain in the ass. I just want him to like leave on his own.
Gotcha.
He's a good boy.
That's
It's,
his
yeah,
tail.
you see what I'm saying?
I
I don't
know.
want him like right
No,
up in our shit.
I gotcha. Okay, so I thought I told you that. I guess I didn't. So that's
No.
what I'm doing in March.
Honestly, no, not at all. Never heard a word. But what else? Football? You got football season coming up. You're practicing.
Yeah,
Got scrimmages.
yeah,
Your team's pretty ass.
yeah. I told you they're gonna be. I'm gonna try to work them back. Have me work back into offense as well. They're gonna have me at literally every position.
I got
That's-
faith. Like I feel like this season's definitely going to be better than last season. Your last season was
my
really,
last season statistically was
not
my
your
best.
last season, but like the
The teams. Okay, I was
the
gonna say
team, the team.
personally, statistically,
No,
my
the
last
team.
season was my best season.
no, the team as a whole.
That's just I'm
I
gonna
mean,
have to back you
what
up.
was it like the Golden Hawks?
Golden
and the
Hawks
Kings.
and the Kings.
The Golden Hawks was just so like dysfunctional.
Yeah.
And then when you got to the Kings, I was like, okay, maybe this will be better. And it was basically just the Golden Hawks in different color uniforms. I was like,
It's very
what is going
dysfunctional.
on here? This is
Um,
ridiculous.
We're trying to fix things.
Boy, you guys see this fly ass 3-putt king hat?
It's backwards for them, I think.
Boy, you see. Well, if it's backwards for me, now it won't be backwards for them. Right?
Fair enough.
That's the 3-putt king from shankitgolf.com at FreddyB42. Not paid sponsor. Sorry, it'd be nice, but you know, check out their merch. They got a hat that says titties across the top. Just saying. Charlie, get. He's gonna go lay down. There's no
Alright.
problem. He's just circling back. He's like a shark in the water. Like, I'm gonna get you guys. I'm gonna get you. Alright, so basically what we're here to really talk about is, do you have anything more? I don't mean to cut you off.
No,
I apologize.
No. Let's bounce back and forth. No, but I think we're ready to move on to our main topics.
Cool. Alright, so main topic number 1, titties. No,
So-
psych. I'm gonna say psych.
This is a family
NFL.
show, no matter how much you say it isn't.
NFL Week 13. A lot of good games. A lot of, actually, I'd say more shitty games than good games. Like here, I got the slate right here.
We start on Thursday.
Everything's all handwritten on paper. Old school as shit.
Even
I-
our fantasy leagues are done on paper.
It's honestly because my laptop's a piece of garbage. I probably could have set it up right here and it wouldn't have been an issue. Like if we're gonna be honest, right here underneath that would.
Episode 1 problems.
Episode 2, we got it. Episode 2, we'll think about grabbing the laptop. Well, we
Episode-
thought about it this we might actually put some effort into pulling the laptop out for quick research and shit like that. But-
Episode 3, we're all getting tablets thanks to how much revenue you're getting on these streams, and we're gonna have them just straight across the front here.
All tablets.
Yeah, just tablets across the front.
All right, but
You get
how
2, I
many-
get 2.
All right, each of us get 2
One
tablets.
for highlights, one for
episode
play
3.
by play.
Let me write this down somewhere. Let me
Yeah.
write it down on this fucking napkin so I can throw it away just like that idea.
Fair enough.
Episode 3. Tablets.
4 times 4.
Times 4. Okay. Alright, yeah, so now that shit's happening, yeah, like I said, I got the slate here. We're gonna run them down. Started real quick. Thursday, Bills 24-10. Sunday, Steelers 19, Falcons 16, Packers 28, Bears 19, Jaguars 14, Lions 40. Lions beat the fuck out of the Jaguars.
Good.
Vikings 27, Jets 22, Jets stink. Commanders, Giants 20. They tied. We are still tying games in 2022.
The score could have been 2022.
It could have been. It honestly could have been.
It
But
could have been.
the Commanders stink. The Giants, I don't
Giants.
like. They stink, but like they
Super
kind
Bowl
of don't.
Super Bowl contenders?
No.
Can we bring back Eli?
Well, then we got Titans 10, Eagles 35, Broncos 9, Ravens 10, Browns 27, Texas 14, Seahawks 27, Rams 23, Dolphins 17, 49ers 33, Chiefs 20. What are you doing with your? Like, do you
rating
even
these
know
games.
what you're
I'm
doing?
rating these games, my own personal opinion. We'll get
Okay.
into
Oh,
this.
okay. Gotcha.
I'll
Chiefs
just let it happen.
Chiefs 24, Bengals 27. That's a thumbs up. Give that. That was a good ass game.
No,
Is
I'm
it-
ranking in my opinion who I wanted to win.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we'll talk about it later. Just
All
like
right.
it is.
Chargers 20, Raiders 27, and then the highlight of fucking week 13. We got a scoregami. We got a scoregami on the Sunday Night Football. Cowboys 54, Colts 19. Like, obviously that's a scoregami. Like, that's such an awkward.
They're both very awkward numbers.
Like 19. I don't know if anybody else scored 19. Oh, Bears scored 19. All right, that's not terrible.
Steelers.
Steelers scored 19 points.
So
All right, so
19's a little.
19's
okay.
not terrible, but the Cowboys throwing up 54 points. That's ridiculous.
That's their season
well done.
goal.
Well done, Cowboys, for the 50 burger. You did well. And then Monday, last night game, Saints, Bucks. That I want to get into that one. There's a couple games I watched in their entirety. Bills, Patriots did not. That game was a snooze fest. That game fucking stunk. I watched, I think, the first half, then I fell asleep. That was terrible. Steelers, Falcons, obviously, watched every second, opening kickoff to final zeros. That was a good game. Steelers almost lost it in typical Steelers fashion.
Yeah.
What else did I watch? I watched a little bit of the Packers Bears game. When I tuned into that,
Yeah, I was gonna say I think I was there with that.
Bears were losing. No, Bears were winning when we tuned into that.
That was very concerning. for a
Bears were
second.
winning. Broncos were winning against the Ravens, which was weird. And then I watched most of the Chiefs Bengals game. Watched most of that. That's why I said that was a good ass game. Watched, I don't know, first half of the Colts Cowboys game. That was good in the first half, and then Cowboys just absolutely dog walked them. And I watched all of last night's game, so that's what I tuned into this weekend. Yourself, anything you watched?
Oh, yeah, I mean, I watched. I caught up on a lot of the highlights because I'm a busy weekend kind of guy. As you can tell, I do a lot of things. But obviously, I watched the majority of the Steelers game with you, as well as the Packers Bears game. I saw the highlights for the Chargers, Raiders, and Saints Buccaneers before we got all of our prep such done for today. So I had a good bit of information on some of these few games before going into it. Same with the Jags Lions games. I looked into that one as well.
I'm not gonna lie, guys. We honestly crammed a lot of this shit like an hour and a half, 2 hours before the podcast started. Because, like I said, I watched some of the games, not all of them. I watched some of the highlights, not all of them. He had watched some of the highlights, not all of them. Some of the games, not all of them. So we
need to
went
freshen
through.
up.
We watched the highlights for all of them except for Browns, Browns and Texans.
It's a Browns
so,
game and a Texans game.
and I don't really give a shit about
I-
Like it. Fuck, I'm just pissed the Browns won because I'm a Steelers fan. So that's all about that. And what else? There was one other one we didn't watch.
We did not see.
Saints Buccaneers. We didn't watch the highlights, but I've watched
But we both seen
every
them
second of that game.
individually.
So not really stressing about that. We got notes here for some of them. There's some things we want to talk about. We can kind of go in order from Thursday. We can kind of jump around. What do you want to do? We can flip a coin.
Yeah,
Or just
might as well.
work
So, let's start the Thursday, and then we'll just work down our lists.
Okay. Yeah, because
So-
then it's all.
The rest of
except for-
Sundays.
So skip these two. Well, no, do this one first. Skip that one because that's Sunday night.
Colts, Cowboys Sunday night?
Yeah. That was the
Oh,
Sunday night
okay.
because I have them in
Skip.
order that one.
Okay. Yeah, thanks.
There.
Oh, you know, don't worry, I get that from that.
So,
Tuesday night.
all right, AJ, you want to start us off with Thursday night football, Bills and Patriots?
Thursday night football, Bills and Patriots. All right, so
Trash.
yeah, I mean, I like the Patriots. I
The
mean,
Patriots they're washed.
That-
Their offense is absolutely washed.
they are they're a very balanced offense. If they had, okay, they could be a very balanced offense. Let me rephrase that.
not.
They need a little bit more help from the run game, and I
Yeah.
think their pass game would just fall into place. I think they just need a little bit more help in the run game.
They have no star receivers.
No,
None.
they spend so much of their time, like over the past 30 years, no star receivers.
Their offensive line is pretty butt cheeks.
It's not the worst. It really isn't. It's not the worst.
It's not great.
Okay.
Their run game is not that Ramondre Stevenson. He's pretty solid. He's not he's a good back. I think if he had an offensive line to kind of go with it, or a passing game to help take some heat off the run game, then I think he could be a lot more productive back. But like other than that, and Mac Jones, he had a good rookie year, but other than that, I don't honestly think he's like.
You looking like a Sam Darnold? Like he started off hot and not that bad.
No, yeah, I don't want to do that to him. No, I want to put him at like
Just say.
I know.
I swear to God, you say Kirk Cousins.
No,
He's not the new Kirk Cousins.
No, I was gonna say honestly, I think I'd put him at like a Teddy Two Gloves.
Teddy Two Gloves.
Yeah, like can start if necessary,
Okay.
but it would be definitely a solid backup. Like you would prefer to have him as a backup role, but if he needed to start a few games, you'd be like, you know what, I'm confident throwing him out there as a band-aid on a bullet hole. You know what I mean?
I get what you're saying about Teddy. I don't agree with that. I think Mac is doing very well given the tools that he has. And if he had, say we put Mac Jones in the offense with Patrick Mahomes is in, let's say we just swap those two players. Obviously, Patrick Mahomes is going to do well in New England, but Mac Jones is also going to do substantially better in Kansas City. Same with how Case Keenum's.
I think you could literally put anybody in Kansas City
No.
and they could drop 30 points a game.
No, we're going to make a list of these kind of quarterbacks. I'm sure some of them are going to be coming up shortly of quarterbacks that can't do that.
Well, Kansas City's a whole different animal, so it's hard to kind of compare. They're like the Ferrari of the NFL
I don't know.
right
I
now.
know one chef that would crash that Ferrari. Chef Russ.
We'll get to him.
Yeah.
We're not there yet. We'll
yeah,
get
as I was
to him.
saying, like,
He's-
we go down this list.
Russ is a fucking issue all on itself, and anyway. We'll get there. But
Yeah.
continue on the Bills Patriots, please.
All right. We did make note that the defensive back was the only person on their offense to score. I mean, you got athletes in the NFL. Sometimes you just plug and play.
I get that, but the fact that you had to pull a defensive back
Yeah.
to go on your offense to give your offense a spark because he's like your special teams returner, or I don't even know if he's like the returner.
He is a returner, yeah.
Is he their main returner or is he
I
just
think
on
he's their
their
punt
special?
returner. I don't think he's their kick returner. I think he's their punt returner. I think that's what's going on.
So basically, they just took a special teams player, and I'm not saying he's just a special teams player is like because there's some fucking dogs on special teams, but the fact that you had to take him and put him in as a plug and play player to boost your offense, if that's the case, why weren't you doing that all year? Because what are they?
Steelers do
What's
that.
the record? They're 6-6.
Yeah, I'm just saying the Steelers do that every week.
But the Steelers kind of suck this year.
Well, then they got.
And I can say that as a Steelers fan that we're not very good.
But we're still gonna win the division.
I don't. They're how Sway
It's mathematically possible. We'll pull it off.
8-4. Browns. I didn't even get their record because we didn't do their game. I don't know what the Browns are.
I can pull up the standings right now.
8-4. We're 5-7. I mean, that's technically possible. We're the. I know we did the Ravens, didn't we?
Yeah, we did.
Oh, Broncos, Ravens. Ravens 8-4. I mean, I guess.
4-4, 5-7, 5. I mean, we already know we're gonna finish this season 10-7.
9-8. 8-8.
I'll even go
1.
8-1. Yeah,
Yeah,
I'd be
let's-
happy with that.
Let's say 8-1 maybe.
Yeah. But playoffs, of course. Super Bowl bound, of course.
Every year, until mathematically not possible.
Yeah, I mean, if we're lucky, not hoping injury on anybody, but hopefully there's some kind of. I think Kenny Pickett might hop on the wrong plane, and then we have to start Trubisky.
Kenny Pickett's not the.
Guy,
He's not the answer. In
He's not
Pittsburgh.
that guy,
He's
pal.
not the answer in the long run. I'm going to be honest. I'll say it. I don't think he's the answer. He may be the best running back second best running back on the team.
Yeah.
But he's not the answer.
No.
But like going back to like the Patriots, Bills, the Bills got it fucking figured out with Josh Allen.
Yeah.
That dude is going to be a problem. And I think after this season, and he can get his elbow healed up or tightrope surgery, whatever
Sure.
he's getting,
Whatever he needed.
to get his shit fixed and back possibly performing better than before because it's actually healed properly now. He's going to be absolutely filthy if he can, because he's still slinging it. He's still running. He's still dropping his shoulder.
And it's
Like, he's not letting this injury, if you even want to call it that at this point, affect him. He's just still out there playing, in his mind, Bills football.
he's playing. He does play a bit of hero ball though. Like you could see it. I mean, I think he had a fumble. We didn't write it down, but I think I saw it in the film.
But
we
it's
were
not to the
watching.
point where it's like Carson Wentz hero ball and it's hurting the team more than it has to.
We like Carson Wentz. We don't talk bad thing on Carson Wentz.
Yes, I do. I don't think Carson Wentz is a starter on any NFL team.
He was nearly an MVP before he got injured.
Yeah, and that just and that was before he got injured. Now, as he is now, the shell of the man that he once was. He's not starter material in the NFL. The fucking Taylor Heineke's starting over him.
Taylor Heineke's. I wouldn't say Taylor
Carson
Heineke.
Wentz is a healthy scratch as far as I think. I don't. You could check the injury report because I don't know off the top of my head, but I'm pretty sure like last game Carson Wentz was healthy, but just not dressed.
I don't think Taylor Heineke is better than Wentz. I think the team's performing better with Heineke under center,
Yeah,
and that could just be simple as
that's the same.
change
Like,
of face.
that's a Mike White scenario.
Yeah.
Mike White comes in, Zach Wilson out.
I
That
don't know.
team is.
I don't know if you can say Zach Wilson's better than Mike White or vice versa. It's hard to say because they both.
But Mike White has the locker room behind him.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what matters. Mike
Yeah.
White has the locker room behind him. They're willing to put that extra effort in the game, in practice, and
I just wish Flacco had the locker room.
I don't think he doesn't have the locker. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I
don't think it's
the
like
locker
that he
room would be
doesn't.
perfectly fine. I think the team would be fine if they said, okay, Flacco's starting instead. You know, if they didn't say Mike White. I think if they said Flacco's starting, I think they'd be like, okay, we can do this.
We
you know?
can deal with this. Well, they had Flacco as the backup when they benched Zach and put Mike White in. Not this past weekend, but the week before that.
Yeah.
Zach Wilson was a healthy scratch. He just wasn't even dressed on the sideline.
Well,
Flacco was
they
back
had
up.
him. They had him. What's it called? They had Wilson off because of the whole situation, how they didn't get any yards that second
Yeah,
half.
that's what.
He said, ain't nothing on me.
Yeah. Do you feel like you disappointed the defense? No.
I mean, I can understand a little bit of what he was saying because it's a give and take.
Somebody calculated.
Someone has to pick up their slack. Sometimes he picks up their slack. Sometimes they have to pick up his slack. So was he wrong? No. Well, yes. Did he let him down? Technically, yeah. But you're gonna let down the other side every once in a while. Should he have said it? Of course not. But was he wrong in thinking that? Probably not.
Somebody calculated that the Jets only got, and I could be wrong, so you could like double check this, but I think it was like 4 inches of play. And actually, I think that's
In a sense.
too high. I think that's too high, actually.
I think it was closer to 3.
I think it was like 2 point something inches per play against the Patriots 2 weeks ago.
In the second half.
In the second half.
Yeah.
2 point something inches per. What? How? You can literally just snap the ball,
Fall forward.
fall forward, even not a full dive, just fall right up your center's ass, and you get more than 2 point some inches per play. Like, that's fucking pathetic in the NFL. That's Bush League. That's and I'm not an NFL player. I've never been in the NFL, so I can't. Oh yeah, I can't say shit about it. Like, well, what could I do? I could probably get more than 2 inches on a
You
fucking
can fall,
play.
You can fall forward.
I have to-
And you put
that's-
that on play calling too, though. You are not setting up your team to get 1 yard on this play. You need a momentum shift.
You can't put it on play calling though, because at the beginning of the year, when Zach Wilson was out
Yeah.
and Flacco was starting,
Okay.
Jets were balling.
Yeah.
Wilson comes in. They're not utilizing Wilson because they have out for a year. Got hurt, tore his ACL.
Not wrong.
They brought in James Robinson.
Yeah, they brought
because
in
Bryce.
Pierce.
No. Please look his name up.
Yeah, I know
don't
who
wanna-
you're
I don't want to
referring to.
disrespect this dude because he was fucking. He was a rookie too. Brees Hall.
Brees Hall. Yeah.
Brees Hall. That's his name. I don't want to disrespect this dude because he was filthy.
Yeah.
And he was coming in possibly going to be offensive rookie of the year. Like that, he was on pace, and Zach Wilson was just taking a back seat.
Yeah.
And guess what the Jets were doing? Still winning because their defense. Shout out Jordan Whitehead, graduate of our high school. Word up. He like that entire fucking defense is balling. I think they're top 5 in the NFL.
Yeah.
I could be
Good.
wrong, but I'm pretty
I
sure
don't know.
Jets
They
defense is
definitely
top
do
5.
a good defense.
They have a very solid if not top 5, top 10.
Yeah.
That easy. So top third of the NFL in defense, and they had at that time before he was hurt, what I would say is the best running back in the league in Brees Hall. What he was doing was just making NFL players look stupid.
He was doing very well.
And as soon as he gets hurt, and their run game isn't just quite the same as it was. Obviously, the pass game is not
Long way on
really.
the shoulders of a quarterback.
Yeah, and like Joe Flacco handled it because they had a running back at the time, and he's also got that experience. Just
Flacco's
Joe
elite.
Flacco's elite. I was gonna say yes. Joe Flacco is elite. That's not even mean. That's 100% dead ass truth. You
He's
can take.
elite.
I'll take it to my grave. You can fight me on that. Like, but
Maybe out
please
of his
don't.
prime, but he's elite.
Yeah, he overall, dude, Hall of Famer maybe discussionable.
Discussion. Hall of Greats minimum.
Hall of Greats.
Yeah.
But yeah, as soon as Zach Wilson got in there, the Jets have fucking fallen apart. Absolutely fallen apart.
Well, no, I understand that, but I'm gonna go back to what I mentioned with the
Look
offensive
at the
pro-
spark it's given the team. Mike White in the past 2 weeks has thrown for almost 400 yards in 2 weeks straight.
I get that, but let's talk about that as in the sense of okay, we're talking whole first half, second half stats. Okay, defense made an adjustment obviously to shut down the offense. The offense did not make an attempt to make that adjustment in that second half, say switching from the third quarter to the fourth quarter. There was not an attempt made to say, okay, we have, I don't remember how many yards I got in the third quarter, but let's change that.
But
What is working? What isn't working? Do I have to dump it off to the tight end? Do I have to run more play action? Do I have to stop running play action? There are things that an offensive coordinator has to see aren't working in that game and move on to the next step. And that's obviously something that wasn't done. Otherwise, they'd be putting in more yards.
I'm going to say 2 things on that. Because
Sure.
I get what you're saying and it makes sense. But 2 things. One, nobody on the team kind of spoke out about stale play calling. Not completely calling out anybody, but like a
Yeah.
lack of stale play calling, or they were reading what we were calling, they
Yeah.
were kind of telegraphing it.
I don't think that
Never-
was the main headline because
And
Zach
2,
Wilson said, but yeah.
And I was going to say, and 2, with that, like, the quarterback's the one on the field making the plays. He's making adjustments. No matter what the offensive coordinator calls, he's calling too. Wilson picks what he thinks works best in that situation off what that's how it normally does. Most offensive coordinators call 2 plays. You know, boom. And if that's not doesn't work, kill. Go to the second play.
Yeah, you don't. I mean, he's still a relatively young quarterback, so they may not give him the full reins. I don't.
He
think.
was a full starter last year.
Yeah, true, but
He was
also
a full
to-
starter,
it's
so
also
they
still
can't say he
intense.
doesn't have full reins.
Yeah, let's hope he does. Let's hope he has at least a little bit more power. But
He
doesn't-
has to still
he
be able
doesn't
to
have
call.
that Peyton power, you know, when he was.
I'm not saying he has the
He-
chance to just make his own fucking
call
play,
Yeah,
but like he has a chance to say, all right,
should have
well,
a kill
make
play.
reads. Yeah,
Yeah.
at least make reads. There's no way that you're sending an NFL quarterback out there with one play, and if he sees blatantly that play's not going to work, he's like, well,
Cam was only given half a play typically. Whenever his first, like Cam Newton,
yeah.
he was given, all right, you got plays on this side of the field. If you don't see it, run. Those were the headlines coming after his end of his rookie year, and I think even his second year they were doing that a bit, till he like fully learned the playbook.
Well, that's on him, like learning the play. Like, so that's what I mean.
So it could
So
be the
that's
same thing on the
That's still
quarterback.
it's still a quarterback issue. That's what I mean. But Cam had the ability to make up for whatever inefficiencies you want to call it with him learning the playbook because he was fucking Superman at that time. He was an MVP.
He could still play.
Yeah,
convinced
like-
of that. Put
So like, don't put Zach Wilson and Cam Newton in the same fucking category for literally anything. It's just
Cam Newton could still start. Let's bring Cam Newton back.
Zach Wilson. I think he's the next Sam Darnold. And it's funny because they're both at the Jets.
So you can say that about most Jets quarterbacks.
Oh, no, I'm being dead serious. Like, I really think Zach Wilson is because when did Sam Darnold get drafted? Number 2 overall.
Yeah,
Was he a number 2
I
overall?
believe so.
And Zach Wilson, number 2 overall.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, Zach Wilson was definitely too. I remember that.
So you got your last 2 number 2 overall picks, bust, at the same position.
The Jets quarterback, so we can't really
You
expect
can.
much more.
But like you can because even when people are like, "Ooh, Mark Sanchez ass," he took
We
him to
love Mark.
AFC. He took him to AFC Championship games. He had one
Twice.
butt fumble, and that ruined his fucking image. But like he took him to 2 AFC Championship games. One against the Patriots, right? I could be wrong. One against the Steelers. I know that for sure.
Yeah, the second one he beat the Patriots and the Colts.
No, he didn't beat the Patriots. He didn't win either AFC Championship.
No, not the
game.
championship games. I'm saying in the playoffs, he beat
Oh,
the Patriots, Tom Brady, and he beat Peyton
And then-
Manning, Colts at the time,
And then
in
he-
the playoffs because he was just built different.
Was that the run that he had? Then he played Ben Roethlisberger Steelers, and that's when he
Yeah, it
lost.
was a second run that he beat Manning and Brady.
Because that was the year we went and
oh
played
my
against.
God, if he made it to the Super Bowl that year, he's like, oh yeah, I beat Manning, Brady, and Big Ben. Just
And
like
then he
this.
would have had to play Rodgers in the Super Bowl.
That'd be the hardest playoff run in NFL history.
At that point, how does Mark Sanchez not go down as the absolute goat slayer?
Oh, if he forget Nick Foles, forget Eli. This man took out every head of this Hydra, one after another.
you have
They
literally
ran out of heads.
At the time, you literally have the NFL Mount Rushmore at the time. Manning, Brady, Rodgers, Roethlisberger. That's the Rushmore
Yeah.
of the NFL at the time. And then you've got fucking Sanchez teabagging on top of the fucking monument. Like, what's up, bitches? Like,
He's just gonna insert himself into the Mount Rushmore like he's what's that Roosevelt on the side?
yeah. Hey, what's up, guys?
Yeah, he's like, whoop, he's poking in.
What are you guys doing?
He just spin his head onto his side like, yeah, there's room there.
What else did I have here? We talked about the Patriots' offensive problems. Josh Allen for MVP because that dude's a fucking dog.
We'll get to the MVP race. We got that written down.
Yeah, so that dude. He personally, in my opinion, he's my vote for MVP. Josh Allen. If I had to vote and you told me, hey, write down who your vote is. For college, my Heisman vote's different. I just want to throw this out there.
Okay.
If I was a Heisman voter, it would be for the Iowa punter. Taylor.
I've heard about
Iowa
him.
punter Tory Taylor.
Yeah.
That guy should be
They're
Heisman.
not going to give it to him, but man,
'Cause he's a
should
punter.
they?
I bet good money he doesn't even win the Ray Guy Award. The punting award.
Yeah,
I
know
bet
Lord.
good money. I'll put $1 on it right now with you.
All
A
right.
hard-earned dollar.
Get that on camera, yeah.
But no, he would be my Heisman vote. But anyway, Josh Allen, my MVP vote. All right, next, what do we got?
Steelers,
Falcons.
Falcons. All right. So Steelers offense sucks.
Final score 19-16. Let's just reiterate that fact
Thank
real
you.
quick
My
before we get into it. No, you're good.
Yeah.
We got Pickett 16 for 28, 197 yards, 1 TD. I mean, that is what it is. And Marcus Mariota 13 for 24, 167 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 pick. And that pick, honestly, watching that game, I don't know if you saw that play where Minka picked it off at
Okay.
the end.
Yeah.
Minka picked it off clean, has a jump going right down the sideline. About, I'd say on like the 10 or something like that, going in,
Yeah.
falls,
Goes down.
goes down on purpose.
I hear that a lot. Okay, so I heard this conspiracy theory that they're doing this purposely so they don't cover the spreads anymore.
No, he did that
Yeah.
simply because, like, technically,
They could
Atlanta
have
could have
scored.
scored onside kick,
Yeah, I know all that.
got the ball
But-
technically. So Minka was like, you know what,
Let's
fuck it,
just run the clock.
run the clock. So to me,
But
that's
It's
200 IQ football play.
Yeah, but I also hear they're doing that because they don't want to cover the spread and they're working with the casinos in Vegas. They happen way too often this season for people to just like, hey, let's stop betting on the spread. You know that feeling. I know that feeling.
No, I told you about that 6-leg parlay I had.
Yeah.
5 out of 6 hit.
Yeah. Okay.
The one that didn't hit, Commanders Giants.
The spread.
And I picked money line.
Ooh.
So since I picked money line, void. So they just changed the odds on a 5-leg parlay, gave me the Dubski.
Dubski.
I felt so good. I checked my FanDuel account the next morning. I was like, oh no, who did me dirty?
You know.
I was like, one of these teams did me dirty because I couldn't remember who won the Broncos because I took my parlay was Steelers, Packers, Vikings. Yeah, hold on. Steelers, Packers, Vikings, Giants, Ravens, Seahawks. No, yeah, just Giants, Ravens. That's 6. Yeah, okay, I didn't want to count too many.
No, that's why I was keeping tally.
And yeah, Ravens almost fucked me. Giants and Commanders, if I would have taken a point spread, that would have fucked me. And who was it? There was one other team that almost. Oh yeah, Packers almost
They
fucked.
tried.
They almost got me. They had me in the first half.
Not gonna lie.
I'm not gonna lie, they had me in the first half. All right, what were you saying about the Steelers offense?
Oh yeah, no. So I made it very clear. I'm not a fan of Kenny Pickett. I think we brought that up earlier on. Not a fan. I'm a Trubisky fan all the way. Well, I want to make the point of during the offseason, after Big Ben retired, there was one quarterback that I thought this guy would be a great person to go in and he could lead this team. That was Marcus Mariota. He was my vote for the Steelers to sign him. He was still a free agent.
That's not our style of offense, though. We would have had to change everything. That means we would have had to
Kenny
get rid of
Pickett-
Matt Canada. Oh no.
Kenny Pickett is the same style of play as Mariota, except Mariota does it well. Mariota does it well. I like Mariota. As soon as Mariota got signed, I was like, okay.
Can you look up their touchdown interception numbers on the year?
Yeah.
I would, but this is what I should put the laptop literally right here, so I can just.
Well, the thing. As soon as Mariota got signed, I'm like, okay, my number 2 guy, Trubisky. Trubisky got signed. I was like, all right, I like that. And the Steelers just gave up on him too early. I genuinely think that.
I personally wanted us to take who's the cat that Tennessee's got, Malik.
Hooker.
No, the quarterback.
Malik Willis.
Yes,
Yeah.
Malik Willis. I wanted the Steelers to take Malik Willis out of Liberty.
Okay.
I thought he's definitely like the biggest project quarterback. But that was in the draft and that was after we got Trubisky. But like free agent, I don't know. I really wanted us to try and get Jimmy G. I thought Jimmy G would have been
I thought that would have been possible, but he's a good quarterback.
I personally thought Jimmy G would have been the perfect fucking plug-in for.
Okay, so total touchdowns, rushing and passing.
Mm-hmm.
Mariota is 19-9
Okay.
for Pittsburgh. Kenny Pickett is 5 and 8. Touchdown interception
You
ratio.
count his rushing touchdowns?
Yes.
How many fumbles though for Mariota and him? 'Cause if you're gonna count-
Pickett has 2 fumbles,
So what is that? 5 and 10.
5 and 10. Touchdown versus turnover ratio.
Like I said, I'm not against you. I don't think Pickett's the answer. I
And
don't. He's having a rough rookie year, but I just don't think he's the answer either.
Mariota has 5 fumbles.
That's
That's a lot of fumbles.
a lot of
That's a
fumbles.
lot of fumbles. But that's still it's
Let me get him something to eat.
19 and
You hungry?
14. That's still a positive ratio in comparison.
No, you're right. We can't argue that.
So, yeah, Mariota's my first pick. He was really my go-to guy prior to him being signed by the Falcons. Falcons definitely, they're using him. I mean, it's just that's a struggling division that they're in right now. NFC South.
I didn't hear a word you said.
Oh, no, they'll hear it.
Don't care.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Charlie.
You brought up the point of Cordero Patterson.
Yes.
Once you return, I'll let you bring it up because it's your point.
I'll say as soon as I get back.
Yeah.
You can talk about Pickett being the best running back, second best running back on the team.
Yeah, no, that's the first thing I tweeted after his first start was like, man, Kenny Pickett's a running back. Very later on in the game, he scored his second touchdown in his career, also a rushing touchdown. I knew it.
I think I texted you about
Yeah,
that.
yeah, I called it. I should do this for a living.
So Najee Harris. I think we should trade Najee in the offseason if we could. I don't know if we even can with whatever his contract and everything is. I have no idea, but Najee's overhyped.
He's
I
a
think.
great athlete. He really is. And he makes great plays. I don't think he makes enough to warrant them. I think he always tries to make big plays, which causes him to have a lot more small plays.
It's when you see the effort and the production that we get out of Jalen Warren.
Oh, he's fighting for a job.
That's what I mean, and it's so hard to How do you not keep him out there? And it seems like we do keep him out there most of the time.
He does have a higher percentage of snaps on the field in comparison to Najee.
And he's also got more yards, I bet, compared to Najee.
Probably. Just
I bet on the year overall, I bet he's got more yards, touchdowns. I don't know, maybe, probably.
Okay. Rushing comparison, maybe I should select the correct team and I'll stay on the Falcons. Alright. Najee Harris, 671 yards. Warren has 195, but he averages 1.2 more yards per carry. Receiving,
I feel like he's got so many more yards than
he has another 150 yards receiving. Warren does, while Najee only has another 148 receiving. Once again, Warren's beating him in yards per catch, with Harris getting 4.9 and Warren getting 8.4.
Is that who did we use at the beginning of the year? Was it just Benny Snell?
We had Benny Snell a little bit, but it was Najee who let
just
Najee and Warren
strictly
split.
Najee?
Najee and Warren split it primarily.
Games played.
Games played, Harris 12, Warren 11, Snell 12. So
Ah.
yeah, so they've all been there. It's almost been running back by committee, but Warren's been in more snaps. He just doesn't get as many touches, so he probably does a lot more blocking in comparison.
I don't know. I think he's a better back person in my opinion, from what I see of him out on the field. But
I
I'm not a
mean-
judge.
I made the observation a few weeks ago when we were at the Eagles game, and we're just bringing up
In gorilla suits.
Yeah, that's important. That's one thing.
Got to throw that out there. In gorilla suits.
When it comes to the Steelers' offense, it is stale. It is predictable. It is exactly. You look at the field and you can tell what is going to happen.
99% of the time.
Steven Sims, a returner, if he is on the field,
He's getting the ball.
he's likely getting the ball.
9 out of 10 times.
9 out of 10 times, whether it's an end around, a reverse, it's a screen. If he's on the
Yeah, I was gonna
outside,
say,
it's
or a
screen.
little short curl or something like that. A chance to let him get in space and do
Right.
something.
Yeah, like it's a punt return. Get him a blocker or two ahead and let him see if he can squiggle through for an extra 4 or 5 yards after catch. It's not good offense. It's Matt Canada offense. He's fine.
Damn.
He's good.
Yeah.
You got water?
Yeah, but no, it's their offense. Yeah, like it's stale. It sucks. We need to fire Matt Canada. I'm sick of it. This experiment with him is
I got an idea. So nobody's going to be happy. On either side.
hire Big Ben.
No. We're going to trade Matt Canada.
You can't trade.
Yes, you can.
Okay,
For Matt Patricia of New England.
I don't like that either. 'cause
That's
his
why I said no
offense
one's gonna
sucks.
be
I was
happy.
like, his offense
We're
sucks
going to
too.
make a trade where nobody's happy. There is no winning side to either offense. Nobody's happy.
Can we do
Somebody
like a?
has to
Can we
win
do?
that trade.
Can we do? Let's do a Matt trade. Okay, Matt trade.
Matt trade.
Matt Canada
Matt Canada.
for Matt LaFleur.
Okay. I was so confused, but yeah, he's the head coach for the Packers,
Yeah.
right? Okay.
Who used to be an offensive coordinator.
Yeah, no, okay.
Like, oh shit! Wow.
You said LaFleur, and I was immediately thinking the hockey player. Isn't his? Don't.
Lemieux,
No, I thought we had a goal.
Flurry.
Okay.
Yeah, it was Flurry.
Flurry, and I think we had someone else with
Letang.
the Tang, or combine their names.
And I think, have you ever seen the movie Goon?
No. Oh yes, yes.
I think his name is LaFleur. LaFleur, something like
Yeah,
that.
maybe that's. I was like,
I
no,
think it's really
why are you
close to
saying
that.
like what's a hockey player have to do with this trade? Are you just saying he'll be better at calling offense than Matt Canada? Irrelevant.
fucking move
and hit
him.
Just hit him. That's it. That's simple. That's ground and pound offense.
See, the best part is like we do have some stuff written up to like talk about.
Half of it's not talked about.
We have notes. That wasn't planned at all. Like,
Off-season signing. I know what we're doing. We're gonna get Taron Armstead. We're gonna move him to fullback and just let it happen. We need 3 yards to carry. That's all we're asking.
last thing on this game, so I can put a bow on it before
Sure.
we move on. And if we would have done this podcast last week, it would have been more appropriate to talk about it last week than
Yeah.
this week. But I would have put my vote in today. Mail it in. Cordero Patterson for the Hall of Fame.
No.
Why not?
Because I made the point off camera.
Because Devin Hester.
Because Devin Hester, he has to make the Hall of Fame first.
He will.
He better.
Because that's like no matter what, his eligibility will be up first.
Well, he's already eligible. That's the problem. He was eligible this year.
Yeah, he is a first ballot though. Like I don't
There was
understand
no
how.
argument. There was no argument to say why he shouldn't be in the Hall of Fame.
They only take so many a year. Like who do they have? Who are the final? Like who did they cut out? That's who I would have mean. Like who did they let go through over Devin Hester? Because did they already have the 10 finalists or
I
whatever?
think they have the finalist, class of 2023.
Yeah.
21. These aren't the top 10. I need the 10 remaining.
So that's ridiculous.
Okay. Eric Allen, corner. Jared Allen, defensive end.
Okay, I like that.
Yeah. Willie Anderson, offensive tackle. I like that too.
Yeah,
Rondé Barber, corner.
like that.
Anquan Bolden, wide receiver.
Like that.
Henry Ellard, wide receiver. He was with the Oilers.
So I can't say.
Yeah.
Charles, leave it.
Jahari Evans, guard. I recognize him. I think he played for the Saints. I think he was a
can't
guard
say
for the Saints, if I remember correctly. London Fletcher.
Okay, I'm
course
fine
it's
with
okay.
that for
Of
the
course.
Eagles.
Yeah. Dwight Freeney.
For the Colts, I like that a lot actually.
James Harrison.
I like that a lot.
Wait a second. Okay, this is a semi-finalist. Where's my finalist listing? I was just looking.
They might not have done the finalists yet. They might have cut down from eligible to semifinalist,
Okay.
and then the finalists will be who's actually inducted.
Okay. Then I'm gonna continue reading down the semi-finalists, I guess.
That's fine. While we're on it, might as well.
Yeah. Ronnie Harrison, safety.
Okay.
Devin Hester, semi-finalist.
So he still could make it.
I thought they. Could,
No, so he could still technically make it. They
I
haven't
thought
cut him
I
yet.
thought it got cut down already. Maybe this is just an older list. When was this list made? November.
Of this year.
Yeah,
This was made
November this
like
year.
2 weeks ago.
Okay, I thought it was already
No,
cut down.
that's
to
solid.
this
So like Devin Hester could still make it this year as a first ballot Hall of
He
Famer.
should.
So like everything you're saying right now, you could totally just be eating shit on in like
Potentially, yeah. Let's find
a
out.
few months.
Yeah.
Literally just a few months.
I hope. He
Guys,
makes it.
please, somebody keep track of this moment right now. I know nobody's in here watching, but like if somebody does in the future when you're going back and watching all of the podcasts back to be like a true G of this, and I'm calling this now on episode 1, that way when we're on episode like, I don't know, 120, I'll be like, yeah, if you guys have been here from the beginning, you'll know in the first episode I said about being here. It's gonna be all one big full circle.
That's what we do.
It's kind of the whole fucking,
Yeah.
you know, it's kind of the thing.
So should I continue down the list?
Yeah, might as well.
All right. Torrey Holt, wide receiver.
Like it.
Andre Johnson, wide receiver.
Like it.
Okay,
That-
that's a-
No, I was just gonna say love it, but yeah, same
it's all
thing.
like it, yeah. Albert Lewis,
Don't recognize it
corner. I
off the top
don't
of my head.
recognize the name, unfortunately. Robert Mathis, defensive end.
Like
slash
it.
linebacker.
Him
and Freeney.
and Freeney should make it together. If they're gonna make it, they should make it together.
It's fair. Yeah.
I think that would be lit. I think that would be super fucking cool for the Colts organization.
It would be, yeah, it'd be really. Probably, you got so many talented players here.
Well, it doesn't have to be this year.
Yeah.
I'm just saying if you're gonna do it,
Do it together.
do it the same year.
And it might even go down to semantics, like, okay, well, this guy had more sacks, and this guy had more. They played two different positions, so they might try to bring it down. It's just like
No, they were
something
both
like-
edge. They were both edge rushers.
Well, one of them also played linebacker though too. So like it depends. It changed in the defense. Might
Who was
change.
that, Robert Mathis?
Yeah, Mathis. Well, yeah. So he had less opportunities to rush. So they might go down to something as silly as that. But Darrell Revis.
First ballot. Fucking, like, the man had a theoretical island named after him on every single field he walked in on. Hey, you see that one guy there?
Yeah.
We're gonna throw over there.
away from him.
Like, we're like way. Oh, if he even comes a little bit this way, we're just gonna run the fucking ball. We're just,
Yeah,
gonna
we're just-
not.
We're actually going to put guys over there just to keep him away.
Yeah, just to think we're going.
Yeah,
we're gonna put
we're-
3 receivers to keep him occupied while we're just gonna throw to our tight end.
It might just work.
He was so fucking filthy.
All right,
He
Steve Smith Sr. That's an iffy one.
first ballot, no.
No, he's like the Philip Rivers of wide receivers, or like he's like one of those guys. Like, is he a product of the evolution of the game? Yes, he's a really good receiver. We're not questioning that.
I think Andre Johnson should make it first ballot solely due to the fact that it was for the Texans.
Those are the Texans.
And it's not anything against the Texans. It's more that he was the first to do it for an expansion franchise like that.
I mean, maybe not
In the modern era.
In the modern era.
In the
yeah.
modern era.
Okay.
Like, because that's the most recent.
Well, you could say the same thing about Steve Smith with the Ravens. You can say the same thing.
Because they were the Browns that just moved to Baltimore. So was it really.
Okay, but what about the Titans? And they had who did they have? They had a guy. I'm drawing a blank on it at this exact moment. So I'm not really proving my point right now by saying
Yeah, that's all I'm like.
Delaney Walker. Let's bring him up there eventually. I don't think he's eligible quite yet, but
No,
he was,
I think he's Hall of Fame material. If he'd be in the Hall of Exceptionally Good.
I'm just speaking of Titans for this quick second. Chris Johnson. I don't think he's Hall of Fame.
He had 1 2,000-yard season. And what else to his name? What?
He got shot.
A few rushing titles. Did he have any rushing titles? The year he rushed for 2K.
Yeah, but he did it for he was in the league for a long time. Surprisingly.
He only retired a couple years ago.
Yeah. Like, he was in the league for a surprisingly long time for someone you thought retired 10 years ago.
I'm just happy Calvin Johnson made it.
Yeah.
That's been my dude forever.
What's up with the Lions killing off all their, Hall of Fame players in 10 years?
That's why they stink now.
Yeah. Okay. Fred Taylor, running back
for the-
Jaguars.
Yeah, I almost said Bills. He did play for the Bills, didn't he?
I think he
At the
played-
end of his
I
career?
think he did a little bit.
I was
of
going to
that.
say, yeah, I definitely think he did.
Joe Thomas, offensive tackle.
Yes.
Easily.
Get that man a jacket. Couldn't get a ring, get that man a jacket.
That man-
Give that
It's
man
cold
some
in
title
Cleveland.
and give him some
It's cold.
title in his life. He needs literally anything to show that he was in the NFL and actually prove it. So, I played for the Browns. Yeah, okay.
Oh,
No,
okay.
no,
Yeah, so did my
seriously.
mailman.
No, seriously, I played for what, 16 years, something like
That was
that.
an insane amount of time.
Oh, I played for. Yeah, okay. What's your name? Joe Thomas. Yeah, I'm Joe Thomas too. He's
Yeah,
such
I'm
a
a one
generic,
Browns player.
such a generic white guy's name. Yeah, I'm Joe Thomas too.
Zach Thomas, linebacker, Dolphins.
Dolphins. Yeah. Okay, I like that.
Hines Ward, wide receiver.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. He's a coach now. You got to get him in the Hall of Fame. He's a head coach. He is.
Yeah, I know, obviously not for them. I'm just saying, like,
We got to talk XFL one of these podcasts.
We'll get into it as it gets
next week
closer.
or something like that.
they're setting up for their supplemental draft. I got the email and everything saying that they're sending out their email. They're sending out their invites for the supplemental draft.
Let's go, dude.
No, I'm not a part of it, but they're.
Why not?
I mean, I might be. I didn't get my email yet, but they're in the process of sending out the emails for invites.
Gotcha. Did you ask your agency to like?
Oh no, I got the whole message. It's like they sent it to the whole. It wasn't
Gotcha.
just. Yeah. What was it? Hines Ward, he barely makes it. That's how I see it. Like,
Multiple time Super Bowl champion.
yeah, that was anyone on the Steelers.
One of the most pivotal plays in Super Bowl history.
Not
his catch
Antonio
from Randall
Holmes.
L.
Yeah, I was like,
No,
not
so his-
Antonio Holmes. Randall L.
Yeah, his catch
Randall L
from.
made that play. You can't even.
But who caught it?
Randall L pitch.
Yeah.
He
So like, you see what I'm saying? Like
Yeah. No, I say it because they really forced him the ball towards the end of his career to get that 1,000. What's it?
he made such an impact on the game though too, with like crackback blocks.
He was arguing. He was voted the dirtiest player in the league. That is
Multiple
not-
years.
That's not a good thing.
But like, he wasn't that way though.
I mean, I think you can almost say while he wasn't breaking the rules, you could consider it a dirty rule, a dirty move. Was it like intentionally malicious? No.
Hey,
Is it dirty? Yes. I think they could be two different
Hey,
things.
if I think you're potentially gonna make a play, I'm gonna make sure you can't.
This is a gentleman's league, Freddie.
Is it though?
No, it should be back in my day.
I'll say, is it though? We'll get to. Well, we didn't watch the Browns game, so we can't say anything about their quarterback. So, but is it a gentleman's league?
All right, let's get down this list. DeMarcus Ware.
I like it.
Yeah. Ricky Waters, running back.
Like it.
Reggie Wayne, wide receiver.
Like it.
Vince Wilfork, defensive tackle. Let's talk about the fact that he had the highest catching rating of any defensive tackle in that.
And he's got how many Super Bowls does he have?
He has too many, I think.
3?
Yeah.
3 Super Bowls, I think, for him. So I think, like, just based off that alone, like, it's gonna be so hard. Like, literally any Patriots player that played for them for like 10 years, Julian Edelman comes up,
Yeah.
Hall of Famer.
No,
Why not?
we know he's not.
Danny Amendola.
Come on. Next, you're gonna say Wes Welker.
Yeah.
You got a ring with Peyton and you got a ring with Brady.
So Wes Welker.
No.
I'm just asking questions here. That's all. The people want to know.
Brian Hartline, yes.
Wow, what's his name? Rex Burkhead. Or is it Danny Burkhead?
It's Rex Burkhead.
I
You're
thought
mixing him
so.
up with the other white running back of Danny Woodhead.
Danny Woodhead, that's it. Yeah, Burkhead, goddamn. Man, he was just.
Man, the Patriots just love their white skill players.
Yeah.
Short white skill players. Like, all
Yeah.
of them you named was under 6 foot except for Amendola, I think. I think he's
6'1".
yeah. I thought he's like 6'2", 6'3".
But
Excuse
still,
me,
sorry,
anyway,
I
come
don't
on.
mean to short shame. Over here. My bad, my tall king. I'm 5'9". Who the fuck am I to talk?
Patrick Willis.
Okay, I like that a lot. That dude's a fucking dog.
Yeah, he retired early, but
Yeah, dog.
yeah. And Darren Woodson, safety.
Dog. Yeah, I was gonna say he's eligible. He's got to be eligible.
the hottest hidden safety.
If he goes in, Greg Jennings got to go in with him.
He put the team on his back.
That's what I mean. Like I feel like if the NFL were to integrate that one little moment into the Hall of Fame display, that would just.
There should be a Hall of Fame for Madden. A Madden Hall of Fame. Not like the really good plays, but the most recognizable plays.
I don't really know of that one.
I'm sure there's more. But
I
like,
dead
I
ass
know
would
that
have-
guy. That's like the.
It should
Jerry
literally have
Rice
its own.
of-
It should have its own museum.
Yeah, that's a Jerry Rice right there of Madden plays.
That's up there with like the top gaming clips
yeah.
ever. I would say, personally, in my opinion, the Greg Jennings.
Your ass get shit on. Yeah, that's up there. You
That's
know?
not even a gaming clip. That's just a kid.
Shouting while gaming.
Yeah,
though.
while gaming.
Yeah.
That I guess, but no. But I mean, as an actual, that's up there with like the Leroy Jenkins.
Yeah, it's all about what people say. So I'm gonna count the your ass get shit on.
But still, yeah, Cordero Patterson for Hall of Fame. That's how we'll bring this thing back. Wrap a bow on it. He's gonna get in. Devin Hester's gonna get in because everything you were saying about him not getting in,
Is
gonna-
potential. Okay, but
it's gonna get shit
there's
on.
other returners who did really well at their time that just aren't Hall of Fame.
Okay, but they didn't do it at the Devin Hester level. They didn't do it at, well, obviously, the Cordell Patterson level.
It's really
Because who has the record?
currently,
Cordell
yeah,
Patterson.
but who had
Who
the
had it
record
before
before
them?
them?
Devin Hester.
Who had it before them though?
Probably Gale Sayers.
Some of them, yeah.
So, and is he in the Hall of Fame?
He shouldn't be,
But is he? Okay. So once again, the
but
point
he
you're
didn't have
making.
all of them. He
new
didn't have
point.
all the records.
I'm not saying he had all of them.
I'm just saying, like, there's some Josh Cribbs. Is he going to be in the Hall of Fame? He was arguably one of the best returners of the 2000s.
Yeah, no, I mean I probably wouldn't argue it, but
But
at
if-
the same time, Devin Hester was playing at the same time and was better than Cribbs.
Not a kick return. I mean, obviously he got the huge kick return in the Super Bowl, but I think statistically,
But just as a
Josh
returner,
Cribbs,
he was just a threat as a returner in
Yeah.
general. That's that's what you. Sorry,
well, maybe it was just an era of.
sorry, you're dumb.
I'm gonna end this. So episode 1, episode done. That's it. That's,
Episode 1 and done.
yeah.
Good night. Bye. Click.
Okay. But no. It could just be an era thing, you know, era of good returners, and they changed the rules since then, obviously, so things are different. But just like how you have an era of great running backs,
You're dumb.
era of great
No,
quarterbacks.
sorry, you're dumb.
It could
You're
be
wrong.
a change of the game thing. You're dumb.
I'd say you're dumb. Okay, Packers, Bears, cheese and beans. Where are we at over here? Who's got the cheese and beans?
So Aaron Rodgers still owns them, last I heard.
He does. You got cheese, beans, backside, top. Oh, I'll take it. Cheese and beans. Final score was 28. Packers, Bears, 19. Let's see. We'll give off the stats. Rodgers went 18 for 31, 182 yards, 1 touchdown. Fields 200. 200. Damn, a lot of passes. 20 for 25, 254, 2 picks. I don't have his rushing stats. I probably should have looked at those. Can you pull those up? Because he had some good rushing stats. I think he scored a touchdown. Yeah, because
He did.
Justin Fields. I don't. If he's a franchise quarterback, I don't really fucking know. That's hard to tell.
I don't feel it.
It's hard to tell if he's a franchise quarterback. But what I can tell you is he's a fucking dog running.
Okay.
The guy, he's pulling away from NFL defensive backs at quarterback. Like you saw it in the Packers game. He's pulling away from dudes.
He got a total of 6 rushes for 71 yards and 1 touchdown. His
Yeah.
longest being 55 yards. I mean, those are insane stats for a quarterback. But I also think that is, once again, a product of the game. Defensive players are not allowed to hit quarterbacks. You will see they pull away from quarterbacks in a different manner than they will not pull
The
away
rule
from.
hasn't changed. The rule's still the same.
They
If he's
apply it,
if
a
he's
lot
past
heavier.
the if he's past the line of scrimmage, or not even that, it doesn't even have to be some. Yeah, if he's past the line of scrimmage and he's a runner, or if he's tucked the ball behind the line of scrimmage and he's a runner, you can hit him.
At any point, he can just dip his hip and they'll immediately flag you if you hit him.
I get that, but at the same time, like, you're still playing football. There's still bang bang plays. Not everything is automatically roughing the pass, but you can't get roughing the passer
You can get
downfield. You can get unnecessary roughness.
Yeah, you can get unnecessary roughness. You can get ejected for targeting. It's hard. A player has to make a career decision almost every time he sees a quarterback scramble. He's going to scramble. So if I hit
But
him,
the way Justin Fields is running, he's not even getting close to guys for them to even think about touching him. You saw. Look at that 50. If you watch the film, if you watch the video, the film, whatever you want to fucking call it, for that 55-yard run,
The Packers
he's
suck at
almost
QB
on-
contain.
he's look at most of his runs for the season. He's like almost untouched and breaking away from dudes.
So
That you can't tell me that's not impressive.
That is confidence that comes with knowing that he can run what the rules are. Because I was getting at it with the point. Players on defense are making career decisions every single time a QB runs. Let's say I'm going to tackle this quarterback, and he decides to just barely start dipping his hip as I come at him, just like how Flacco did and Kiko Alonso hit him. Boom. Okay, so I got a chance of getting ejected. But we'll say minimum a penalty of.
Did Kiko Alonso get ejected?
I'm pretty sure he got ejected. That's only because he hit high though. He hit the head.
I was gonna say.
I mean, and that could happen sometimes because you're aiming for their waist, and the quarterback immediately dips. Now their head's at your shoulder level. It's hard to control
that's what I
that.
mean.
Same thing happened with the injured Teddy Bridgewater. But
The roughing the passer / like the quarterback rules need to change because there has to be somewhat sign of like intent there.
yeah,
If
that's what
you
I'm
can
getting
see
at.
the dude is because like they try to look at it in college, but the targeting rule in college is fucking stupid because they don't take intent into it either. It's just like, hey, do you see contact to the head? Get him out.
Yeah.
They review it, but they don't take intent into the review. They just look at the end result. I personally think like a lot of reviews should be done by former NFL players. You know the rules.
Yeah.
You know the rules. You
It's
see.
real hard to be indifferent though, like unbiased when it comes, especially if they their favorite
No, well-
teams. You know?
Well, you just obviously don't put them with teams that they either play for or like that they root for. So they do the same thing with refs.
Fair.
So like you can't have biased refs.
Yeah.
So what's the difference with having an ex-NFL like a Raiders player?
There's no. Yeah.
Maybe not the Raiders.
Yeah, maybe not the
Well, I was
Raiders.
gonna say like with the Steelers, but like the Steelers Raiders have somewhat of a rivalry. So
I just meant
obviously-
the Raiders because they don't care. You can rip their head off.
Well, someone like let's say the Texans going for the Falcons Steelers game.
Sure.
They have no like an ex Falcons player, Roddy White.
Yeah, Roddy White going on a Steelers Texans game. There's no-
You know, as the review analyst, you
I know
know,
what you're saying.
or you could even have like an AFC, NFC guy, whatever, or just even a couple guys watching the review.
Well,
3 guys sitting in a room watching all the reviews.
Yeah.
Boom, boom, boom. Here, like it's best 2 out of 3 vote. Boom, that's the result. What is like? I don't think
I
that.
don't think changing the person who reviews it actually change. I think it's how they have to apply the rules that are written or change the rules that are written.
Well, that's what I mean.
So I don't think
the
the
changing
person-
how they review it is part of changing the rules because they have to
Yeah.
look at intent going into it.
Yeah,
That's
I don't
what I'm
think
getting at.
the person who reviews it changes much because they still have to go off a.
I do because these
That's
refs
right.
are fucking stupid.
Yeah, they are. Okay.
So that's why I think it has to change who reviews it because these refs are fucking stupid. I don't think that's anything that anybody can argue.
Yeah. The quarterbacks have it too easy anymore. They really do. And this is obviously we both play modern age football. Quarterbacks
Yeah.
have always had it easy with us playing, and it's only gotten easier honestly since we started playing.
It's I don't know. I think something that's not gone easier is like Aaron Rodgers' time out there playing football. Like he's not been having a good time out there. He has one weapon, and he just got that weapon. Like he became a weapon like 3 weeks ago.
And he's
in
overusing
Christian
it.
Watson. He's got what, seven or eight touchdowns.
I think it's 8 touchdowns in the past 4 weeks.
Yeah, like the dude's absolutely killing it. He found that 1 touchdown a few weeks ago on just before Thanksgiving, I think it was.
Yeah. He's
And
been on
since
fire.
then, he's just been rolling. Offensive Rookie of the Year, in my opinion. If he continues the
to be.
rate of this performance, I don't give a shit about the yards. It's about the touchdowns. Who scores touchdowns? And right now, I think he's on pace to obviously completely lead all rookies, receiver, running back, whatever you want to call it.
Imagine if it was a target all season, you know?
That's
You
what I
break
mean.
down the stats.
And like especially now with him coming into play, I think the Packers, especially playing the Beans, Bapo with some worms.
Worms.
I think those are worms.
Those
They
are
were
gummy worms.
I think the Packers should have traded for Claypool instead of the Bears. I mean, the Bears got him, and you know, I wasn't upset about losing him personally. I'll be the first to say it, but the Packers should have went and got him. They needed to give YouTube emotes too. Ooh, the Packers needed another weapon. Yes, they have Randall Cobb, but I think if you have Christian Watson, who's 6'4", 6'5", believe it or not,
The Packers got tall receivers. They don't have great receivers. They have tall receivers. Alan Lazard, he's also like 6'3".
6'3", I think. Yeah, I was gonna say Christian Watson, 6'4", 6'5". They would have had Alan Lazard, 6'3", I think. I mean,
Claypool's 6'3".
Claypool's 6'4", I think.
Yeah.
Something like that. He's like Megatron's height.
Mapleton.
Like, and that would have helped him so much. But like the thing with Claypool, and like I heard Tone Diggs from Pat McAfee show say this, and it's very true. Once I tell you this, is Chase Claypool has the world's worst habit is jumping up as high as he can in the air to catch the ball at his toes. Have you ever noticed that when he did that shit all the time for the Steelers? He would go up all the way and they reach down to get the ball. It's like, well, what were you doing all the way up there for then? Like you could
I
have
just the
just
same habit in grade school. I jump for every pass.
yeah, but like it doesn't make sense.
Gotta
It's
grow
like,
out of that one, buddy.
you're 6'4", you have like a 30-some inch vertical. I'm
I got a
assuming.
30-inch vertical.
I don't know. I'm just making like it's 30. Let's say you got a 30. That's 3 feet. So at that point, your hands are. See, you're 6'4". Your hands right here are probably about 8'5", 8'6". We'll say 8'6".
Okay.
Then you jump up 36 inches. You're at 11'6", and then you're reaching back down. Oh, I don't know, about 5'6" inches. So what's that? 11.5 feet. Taking away 5.5 feet. We're at like 6 foot. So it's like weird if you're like 6'4", you could be like right there. I don't get it. Like he has so much talent, but he has that bad
He's
fucking.
using it wrong.
You see it because the corners don't jump and they're just kind of making a play on the ball, and it's like, well, what were you doing up there? Like I don't. Is his visor foggy and he's got to look from below and he's like, oh shit, there's the ball.
Funniest thing, I was doing my workout yesterday at Holloway. He did a very similar.
What?
Very similar thing. In his route running, he just ran a fade. Of course, he's gonna run a fade on me. He's 6'4". He just wants to beat me in a jump ball. It's just,
Well, yeah.
Yeah, that's what
if
he
I was
does.
6'4", that's all I would do to you too.
if I was 6'4", that's
That's all I'm doing to me too.
yeah, I'll be in the league right now. But no, he jumped up. He was catching like at shoulder height, and of course I jump up. I'm up here, and ball down. Because he had no leverage at that point,
Yeah.
you know. He's all the way up here, and I'm just up on my toes, and I ripped it downward, and he got no leverage, so he's just being turned. It made me look really good. It looks like I threw him to the ground. No, he just I was pulling at the ball, and he happened to be attached to it because he had no leverage.
Okay. Do you think Rodgers can get MVP this year?
I think he is a dark horse at the MVP. Here's the thing, statistically speaking, he is not up to his par,
Yeah.
but his par is MVP level play.
He said that a couple years on the Pat McAfee show, and I'm going to try to get his quote 100% correct here. Okay, I'm going to try. It may not, but I'm going to try to get it really damn
Paraphrased.
close.
Yeah.
Okay. He said, a down year for me is a career year for other guys. Because his best years, he's going, what, 30, like 28-2? Is a down year for him?
He is
It's-
currently, I
like,
think we
if-
looked it up earlier.
His career numbers, I think his down years are like 28 touchdowns to 2 interceptions. And it's like, oh, his down year is 28 touchdowns? That's crazy. Guess what? It's still a 14-1 touchdown interception ratio. Like, you're fucking ridiculous.
Okay, so currently this year, he is 22-9. That is
Yeah.
a bad year for him. It's a good year for a lot of other guys.
22-9.
22, that's pretty.
2.5 touchdown interception ratio.
Yeah. Just a couple weeks, was it last year? 37-4 MVP. Year before that, 48-5 MVP.
9 for both of those. 9 and some change. Touchdown to interception
Oh, sorry.
ratio.
Yeah. Okay. This is the most number of interceptions he's thrown in his career for a season since. I think we stop jumping around. That'd be gorgeous. 2010, when he threw 11 interceptions, and he threw 28 touchdowns still.
That's so. How many MVPs does he have? 3.
I think he's at 3 now, yeah. Because he also, 2011, he threw 45 touchdowns, 6 interceptions. I think he won MVP that year.
That's all I mean. Like the dude is so.
It's kind of wild he doesn't have a 50 touchdown season, though. Not, those
Okay.
are rare.
So my argument for my opinion of quarterbacks in the NFL,
Okay.
and I'm lucky to have gone through this in my lifetime because I don't think we'll ever see it again, in my opinion.
Gotcha.
We have what I consider the GOAT, and also what I consider the BOAT, playing at the same time.
Sure.
You have the GOAT, greatest of all time, Tom Brady. I hate to say it, the man's got 7 Super Bowls. However you want to fucking look at it. You watch the game last night.
Yeah.
You could not tell me at any point in your time, as soon as he got that ball back,
You're like, yeah, he's got this.
I knew immediately the game
Too
was
much
over.
time.
Exactly. I said that. As soon as they went and punted the ball back, because it was a quick, Brady went and scored.
Yeah.
And I said, okay, Saints have to do something on this drive. They went 3 and out. I
Yeah,
said, that's it. Too much time.
We might as well bring that up since we're talking about this. Mark Ingram, they brought him back in after being injured, and he
So,
ran on
yeah.
2nd and 8. He ran for 7 yards, and people are saying, "Oh, well, why didn't he just reach out for the extra yard? You know, that's his fault." It's not his fault that they didn't get yardage on 3rd down. They didn't choose to go for it on 4th down. Where it's 1 yard. They're not the Jets' offense.
I've
in the
got an
second
issue
half.
I've got an issue with him because he intentionally went out of bounds on that play.
He should have reached if he's going to go.
If you're gonna go down and you know you're not gonna make it, and
Let the clock run.
just stay in, let that clock run. You've got Tom Brady on the other side of the field, chomping at the bit, down 2 scores at that time still.
Which is probably why he didn't think of it. He's just like, all right, I'm going to get safe without getting hit. Because running backs don't think of going
No.
down, typically.
No. Mark Ingram has a history of doing it. He's a seasoned NFL running back. He's dropped like on the goal line before, like instead of scoring and whatnot. So
Yeah.
like he's done that. Like he's not a selfish player. He's just
No, I'm just saying it's a little
big
different.
trust. Hey,
in
big
the-
trust. Whoop whoop.
Yeah.
Alright.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a little different. Going from
Let's-
down, rushing towards the end zone, like, all right, I'm going to stop right in front
No,
of the
it's
end zone.
not because like
and
he's-
in the middle of the field.
Because Minka did it. Minka did it. the
Minka
other
didn't
day.
want to. He didn't want to cover the spread.
Nah, I don't want to hear
He
that
didn't want to
shit.
cover the spread. That's it.
No, I don't want to hear that. I had a money line parlay. It didn't matter, so I don't
It
want to hear
didn't-
that
it
shit.
didn't
I don't
matter.
want to hear that shit.
He didn't want to
So,
cover the spread.
but that's what I mean. Mark Ingram's a smart player. Mark Ingram lost them that football game. And Mark Ingram not going down right there, whether or not.
I mean, you can put
They-
on the
they-
Saints
whether-
defense.
Well, I mean, that still chews up clock. Let's say you lose another 40 seconds because of that. If Brady has less than 40 seconds, that drive doesn't end the same way.
It's a real hard thing to predict, though, when you're up 2 scores. You know, you don't think, oh, I got to start chewing clock because
They were already in that situation with them running because it was in the 4th quarter.
yeah. But
It was late in the 4th. It was still like 5 minutes left in the 4th quarter when you have Tom Brady on the other side. You know, this is nobody's first rodeo with Tom Brady. That's why
that's a little different in those situations when you're up by 2 or your scores or you're up by 1.
not when you're playing Tom Brady. That's the thing. Like, I don't think people put enough fucking respect on his name.
They should.
Because you know how many times. Yeah, by the way, check out my TikTok. Do you see that video of the AFC Championship footballs?
Oh yeah.
My
Yeah, I
TikTok
did see
with that
that.
guys at FreddyB42 for the TikTok about the AFC Championship footballs that Tom Brady was using. They're fucking selling them at Walmart. It's crazy, and but like it's so like you said, you admitted to it. You knew as soon as the Saints punted that ball back with what, a minute left, minute and change,
Yeah,
something
time.
like that.
Yeah.
That was too much time. You knew very well what he was going to do, methodically march the team downfield.
Well-
Even though that first touchdown to Godwin, as soon as he scored that, I was like, all right, boom, good, game over. Holding on that right tackle who was getting bullied all fucking night. They move it back,
Yeah.
and one pass quick out of bounds, Mike Evans. Then after that, the touchdown to Rashad White, something like that,
I know.
rookie.
Speaking of, yeah.
And Kekona. I don't know that. I don't see that as an emote. But
Yeah, no clue.
what was I gonna say?
You say
But
John, no?
yeah, like even after that holding penalty, he had 8 seconds left. It was still like, yeah, he could probably pull it off. I was thinking of Mike Evans fade because that's probably what everybody in the fucking world was thinking. That Mike Evans, yeah, he's 6'4", 6'5",
6'5", yeah.
200 some pounds, like massive vertical, known for being a jump ball specialist. Like it,
And Brady ran it in 25 yards.
yeah,
all by his own.
yeah, okay. You saw when he tried to go for that pass the other week, right? Did you see that?
Against the.
I don't remember who it was against.
I don't think. I'll have to double check it.
It was literally just a couple weeks ago. He went out. It might have been the Falcons, but he went out for a pass and like tripped up on the dude. The guy picked it off.
Yes, I did see that. Yeah, it's when they were playing in Europe because he slipped.
Yes, the Germany game. Okay, Seahawks. Yes.
Yeah.
What's it called? But no, that's it. Like, but yeah. So the GOAT, Brady, greatest,
Okay.
and the BOAT, the best of all time,
Steve Young.
Aaron Rodgers.
Aaron Rodgers.
Aaron Rodgers. That dude slings the ball better than anybody I've ever seen.
Fair. Yeah. No, he's easily the most athletic for someone who can pass as well. He's got the passing of Drew Brees and the athleticism of.
I want to say better than Drew Brees. Like nobody has the cannon arm and the accuracy with it, plus some like feather touches that he can throw at the same time.
He's
Like
an amalgamation of different players' attributes.
Yeah,
to build
that's what I mean.
a
Like,
99 overall.
he's got a cannon arm of Brett Favre, but with the accuracy of Marino. With that cannon arm,
Mobility of Steve Young.
almost.
Pretty good. Yeah, no, you're right. Yeah,
I
not
would
quite.
say, I would say almost.
Let me think of a quarterback.
Elway.
I've seen Vince Young. I'm trying to think of someone who doesn't scramble much, but also like
I would say
that is like
Elway.
super wiggly.
I would say Elway.
Yeah, but Elway loses Super Bowls.
Aaron Rodgers has only gotten to one. So I mean, what's
He ate a Dubsky.
He did eat the Dubsky, so I mean that's what I mean. So like,
Mobility of Mark Sanchez, cannon of Mark Sanchez, and the accuracy of Mark Sanchez.
in his prime.
Yeah, only in divisional round playoff games. That's when you get the GOAT, Aaron, the Mark Sanchez Rogers.
No, that's like that's what I mean. I'm just happy to be in a time where I get the GOAT and the BOAT playing against each other in like the same time frame. And I'm gonna be able to tell stories to my kids about it one day. Be like, you know what? I saw a GOAT and a BOAT playing on a football field together, and it was probably one of the most beautiful games I've ever seen in my life. And that's all I need to say about that.
That's what you're gonna say. I didn't hear. That's good. It's probably had a low five just so.
Well, I didn't know if you were gonna say anything.
No, I was just
That's
gonna-
all I gotta say.
Well, I'm gonna let it ride.
Did that one.
All right.
And that one you pass it off to me because you were a little chicken shit.
I am a little chicken shit. Where are we off to now? We did Packers, we did Bears.
Jags, Lions, I don't even want to get into it too much. Basically, the Jags fucking stink. They're always going to stink because they're the fucking Jaguars. Trevor Lawrence is going to waste his entire career there because it's Jacksonville and they're the Jaguars. And you know what? They need to make themselves some big old Bobcats. Change their name. The big old Bobcats.
No. Okay, so let's get a real review. First off, Trevor Lawrence sucks.
He
I
fucking
refuse to
stinks.
support a quarterback whose hair goes down to his shoulders. That sounds really biased. That's because it is.
He was 17 for 31, 179 with a touchdown. Goff, 31 for 41, 342 tuds. But Amon-Ra St. Brown, he balled 11 receptions on 12 targets, 114 yards, 2 tuds. Lions just kicked the shit out of him. Like,
Yeah.
that's what they needed. Dan Campbell needed that after his last couple losses in a row. He needed to come out and literally just kick the shit out of some team. And
Then
like,
he knew he could do it too. He needed to hype up the locker room for another
but like
matchup.
the thing is, they were both 4-7 going into the matchup.
But
That's
we-
the thing. They were two different 4-7s. Like you look at the Lions 4-7, it's like okay, they're a team that's going to be good. Like they're a team that's moving in the right. You could see it. They're moving in the right direction. I think if they
Ever since I got
replace
Jared
Goff,
he said the exact opposite thing. He said the exact opposite thing at the same time.
same time, I don't even know how that happens.
So, why do you dislike Jared Goff? And I'll bounce back on why I think he's the greatest quarterback they've seen in since Stafford.
That's why, because like they had Matt Stafford and they gave him up to get Goff, and it's like, well, what the fuck were you doing? Like, that was
They
the
got
worst
they
move
got St.
could-
Brown. I don't think he was.
That was like the worst move they could have made, and like I can't believe that you're like ever since they got him, and I'm like,
Okay.
no, fuck, it's not
Well,
coming.
let's think of how many quarterbacks.
6.
Okay, that's a
At
good
least
number.
6.
That's a
At
good number.
least 6.
No, but let's think of backup quarterbacks right now.
Yep.
Quarterbacks that can immediately plug into the Lions and do better than Jared Goff. There's not many of them. As of right now, Jared Goff is their best available option.
Cap.
I don't think there's.
I bet
I don't think there's more than 5 backup quarterbacks in the league right now that'll do better than what Jared Goff can do. We don't have his season stats.
I can
but while
name
you're
them right now. I can name. Oh, obviously their stats aren't going to compare because they're backup quarterbacks.
No, not compare. I'm just saying his specific stats.
Oh, well, still, boom, right. Number 1, Taysom Hill.
I like Taysom Hill. I don't
Okay.
think he's a starting quarterback, but I do like Taysom Hill.
You said if I could plug him into that offense.
I'm listening though.
So, like, I think Taysom Hill would fit into that Lions offense way better.
Okay.
Because he's willing to do basically whatever, and I think Dan Campbell would use the fuck out of him, like,
Sure.
efficiently. Oh, shit.
I do want to make.
Tyler Huntley.
Yeah,
He's probably the best backup in the league,
Yeah, or
in my opinion. Like, I don't
Other
care.
than Trubisky now,
Trubisky could go. Trubisky could definitely go into that offense.
not Pickett, but yeah, definitely Trubisky.
That's what I'm like.
Yeah.
I think Trubisky could go into that offense and probably succeed
Yeah.
and play well.
So that's 3.
That's 3
mention that
right
Jared
there.
Goff,
And I
Jared
have-
Goff is in the top 10 for passing touchdowns right now in the league.
Well, yeah. Look at some of their beginning wins of the year. They were kicking the shit out of teams, and they were
And-
not good teams.
So QBR, he's also in the top 10.
Do
As
you
well
wanna
as for
s-
yards, he's in
Joe
the top 10.
Flacco. That's 4.
Currently, if
No,
I were-
probably not.
I was
currently.
like, I like
Mike White.
Flacco.
All right, Mike White. Mike White's only starting right now because Zach Wilson's shit in the bed.
Yeah.
Zach Wilson's the starter, so Mike White would fit.
I don't
into
have
that.
enough film on Mike White.
Look
to
what he
give a
did
fair-
last year. Look what he's doing this year. The
He's-
only reason he
he's
went
only
out
playing-
last year is because his fucking arm went numb in the middle of the Colts game. He couldn't feel the ball when he was gripping it, so they took him out. Zach Wilson came back from his injury, and it's like, oh shit, sorry, Mike. He's the 2nd-round draft pick. You were not.
Yeah.
So
Or, yeah, 2nd overall, but I get what you're saying, yeah. But, no, I'm saying there's just not enough, I don't see enough film saying that he's better or worse than Jared Goff. Just like I won't say Malik Willis. Well,
Jordan Love.
It's really hard to support any, like, backup quarterback that goes through the Packers.
Mm-hmm.
Because over the past 20 years, there's only been one that's been successful,
Mm-hmm.
and he stayed with the Packers. So it's really hard to like look at the Packers backup quarterbacks and say, "Oh, this guy can get it done." It's like let's think of other ones, you know.
Drew Lock.
Drew, okay,
Desmond Ritter. For the
sure.
Falcons.
Oh no, I'm saying like other backup quarterbacks for the Packers.
Oh.
No, I was saying like other backup quarterbacks for the Packers that have done anything. And only third son I can think of is Brett Hundley. You mentioned Jordan Love.
Oh, it's Brett. I said Tyler Huntley. Sorry, that's my
Oh
fault.
no, well, Brett Hundley was the backup for the Packers
Yeah.
prior to Jordan Love. Humphrey, you mentioned we were just mentioning backup quarterbacks that could start at that time. So no, that's still good.
Oh, isn't Brett Huntley the backup for the Ravens?
Who did you say?
I said Tyler Huntley.
Tyler Huntley's the backup for the Ravens. Brett Huntley was the former backup for the Packers a few years ago,
Oh, I thought
and he
it
got
was
traded.
I thought it was the same dude. Are you sure?
Two different guys.
Okay, if you say so. 'Cause- are you sure? Please look that up, because I don't want to be wrong about that. Because someone tells me like I thought it was the same dude from the Packers. Like I definitely thought it was. I think it is Brett Huntley.
No, who did you say? Tyler Huntley?
I said Tyler. I know I said Tyler, but I think you're right, and it is Brett.
Brett Hundley hasn't played. Brett Hundley played for the Packers and hasn't played since 2019.
Oh, okay, so it is Tyler Huntley then.
Yeah, there's Tyler Huntley
Yeah.
for the Ravens. Brett Hundley
Ah.
from the Packers. Huntley.
Yeah.
You gotta just enunciate.
I got
Whatever the middle letter is, ignore it. Huntley.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Gotcha.
But there's no backup quarterbacks for the Packers over the past 20 years that did anything good. Matt Flynn is my favorite. He
I was
still
gonna say,
didn't do
yeah.
anything good. He was a starter for the Seahawks for like half a season.
Yeah, I know. I was gonna say he was about it.
I think Seneca Wallace did the exact same thing. He was a backup for the Packers and also for the Seahawks.
Yeah, but he was at the Browns first, wasn't he?
I think so, yeah. But even it, backup for the Packers did nothing. So I'm gonna say Jordan Love. Low expectations for him. He has in my opinion, he has a low ceiling. What was I looking at? I was looking at something. But getting back to that, quarterbacks, Lions, Jared Goff, arguably the best bet for the Lions at this point. And he was probably their best bet coming into the season as well. Coming into the
Did they draft a
offseason.
quarterback this year?
Did they draft a quarterback?
Do they?
Do they?
Do
No.
they draft a quarterback this year?
No, they don't.
You think they stick with Goff?
If they do, you don't draft a quarterback before the 5th round. If
You don't get. I gotta sneeze.
just look the roof of your mouth. you did it later. Bless you. No, I don't. I know you're going to say you don't get major quarterbacks that late in the draft. They don't need a major quarterback.
But like, if
I
you're
don't-
gonna
I don't think
get one, why fill up your quarterback room for the season if you're not gonna get a halfway decent one, or at least one that's a
quarterbacks.
project?
There's plenty of good quarterbacks that can be pulled from the late rounds and do well.
I understand. Like, it's hard to take a college
Russ and
quarterback.
Brady, great examples. What? I'll say
Russ and Brady, late round quarterbacks.
Yeah.
No. Yeah. Trust me. Don't get me wrong. Yeah, but look at all the other late round quarterbacks that don't fucking make it. I mean, you can also look at all the first rounds that don't make it.
Exactly.
Too.
So it's- nobody knows what they're talking about.
No. So I mean,
So
it's
might
definitely
as well-
fucking tough.
You can find value in a quarterback, I feel like, much easier in the late rounds than you can a lot of position players, because when it comes to position players, they're so, like, the difference between a first round draft pick and a 5th round draft pick is so slim. It really is. It's what's in between there is the intangibles, because they're all running 4.4s or better. They'll all have a 30-inch vertical, assuming they, wide receivers or running back,
I see what you're saying, because like if you spend the 5th round pick on a quarterback and he doesn't work out and you try to trade him, you're probably going to get a 7th round pick.
At worst, best another
So-
5th round pick.
So still a
Minimal
shitty
loss.
pick. Yeah. You take a 1st round pick. What did Sam Darnold go for?
I think he got traded for a 5th.
Yeah, a 5th. What did Baker Mayfield go for?
6th, I think.
Yeah, a 5th or a 6th. Like,
So
yeah. So I mean,
they drastically decreased. Yeah.
I don't know. I think Zach Wilson's going to end up the same way, but that's not the point here.
And I want to I don't know how many quarterbacks go into the draft each year from D1 colleges. We can assume that there's probably one junior or senior on most, if not all, D1 colleges that are eligible to the draft.
Yeah.
That's just how the years rotate, There's at least one junior or senior eligible for the draft that choose to go to the draft that year. You're telling me that we know not all of them are getting taken in the draft because there's not 100 quarterbacks drafted each year.
No, but like the
Pick a
best
D1.
ones are.
Yeah, pick a D1 quarterback in the 5th, 6th, 7th round. Best case scenario, you get a D1 quarterback that can perform with the best of the other D1 quarterbacks that got drafted in the 1st round. Worst case scenario, you cut a 7th round quarterback.
I don't know. I find draft picks hard to start with. I kind of agree with the Rams' attitude of like,
Get rid of them.
fuck them picks.
Fuck them. I love it. Fuck them picks.
That's from like Pat McAfee.
Yeah.
He was like, yo, that's how the new Rams general manager looks like. Yo, fuck them picks, bro. Like we give us them players. Fuck them picks. We want the studs. Like bring them in.
Yeah, I understand that. You already know what you're buying.
So why don't they just?
You kick the tires. You know what you're buying. It's a used car lot, but they're luxury cars.
Then they need to go and get Jordan. Well, they'll never happen because that's in the division, so that'll never fucking happen. They need to what if they try to get Trey Lance? because Jimmy's only out for the rest of the year. And personally, in my opinion, Jimmy's a better option in San Francisco.
You're saying for the Lions again?
Yeah,
Okay.
just
Um,
straight a couple second round draft picks.
the 49ers they put themselves in the worst position possible. They have not known who their starting quarterback was since late 2019.
Well, no, because it should have been fucking Jimmy the entire time.
should have always
Ever
been
since
Jimmy.
when they got rid of Kaepernick basically, and Jimmy came in.
Yeah. And then Beathard was in for a little bit.
That was
And
because
then-
Jimmy was hurt.
Yeah. And
The
then-
only time Jimmy has been not a for sure number one is when he's hurt.
Yeah.
Until they decided to move up out of fucking nowhere like crazy to 3 and take Trey Lance. And it's like, all right, well, Jimmy's out of the fucking picture then.
Yeah,
And it's like, well, this guy just took you to NFC championships, took you guys to a Super Bowl. And if it wasn't for one overthrow in the Super Bowl, you guys are Super Bowl champions. Like, do you not understand that, like, this man is the future of San Francisco?
And they do that. They've done that several times.
John Lynch shot himself in the fucking foot for no reason with that. The general manager there, John Lynch, like, for no reason, he shot himself in the foot.
And they really disguised it very well the first year. We can't lie. They said the first year we're gonna let Lance sit in the back seat. We're gonna watch Garoppolo. But they sold Lance the future of this. They said, "Hey, we're selling you the dream. You are the franchise quarterback. Just wait.
Yeah.
Just wait. You are gonna be the next Aaron Rodgers. You just gotta wait for Brett Favre to leave."
Yep. We'll get rid of him. We just got to finish out this year. We got to give you this guy's a pro. We know it. He took us there. We sit behind him 1 year, watch him, learn his shit, and like after that, we'll kick his ass out. We'll hand you the keys to the castle, and this will be your team.
Yeah.
Well, with Jimmy having that shoulder surgery, nobody even knew if he could play football or not this year. So they had to hold him and hold him and hold him.
Yeah, teams didn't want to trade for him.
By that time, they had already drafted their quarterbacks and everything. Like, all the other big-name quarterbacks were gone. It's like, oh, well, what do you do? And, like, Carolina didn't bite on them. So they were ended up stuck with them. And by the time they were ended up stuck with them, they needed them because Trey was getting hurt. So and by the time Trey's hurt good, Jimmy's got to be the starter. And it's like, oh, well, if Jimmy takes you to the fucking Super Bowl, do you pay Jimmy to keep him in San Francisco since, he's your franchise guy? He just took you to, like, the Super Bowl or the NFC Championship game or, something
He
like
took you to
that.
playoffs. That's what he does.
Jimmy wins games.
But they he has no stats.
He
but
fucking wins games. That's all that matters.
Once again, like you said, he shot himself in the foot because they came into the offseason saying that we are going to get rid of Jimmy Garoppolo. What does that mean? Well, then no one's going to offer you anything high for him
Because they know you're
because
getting rid of him.
you're going to get rid of him.
Yep.
They say, hey, worst case scenario, the season starts getting a little close. You cut him because you don't want to have to pay him that money. And then the 49ers did something that no one expected. They kept him around. They chose to pay him.
Yeah.
And it really saved them. Just Trey Lance ended up getting hurt. That's not no one would have expected at that time. If Trey Lance doesn't end up getting hurt and they start Trey Lance the entire season. If Trey Lance, let's say he doesn't do bad. Let's say he does slightly below average because we didn't expect anything great from him, honestly. Not in my opinion.
Yeah.
Um,
Not his first year, honestly, not with his style of play. That takes some adjusting to. I mean, Lamar came out the gate and but Lamar's a fucking freak of nature. I think we can all agree with that.
and they were already used to that because Flacco got burners, and we know that. No, but they integrated him in because they had them both playing at the same time. Because Lamar didn't do it his rookie year; he didn't start.
No.
Flacco was still ahead; he was still in charge. I love the one play where they throw it to Flacco. Lamar throws it to Flacco. That was
I don't remember
Lamar's
off the top
rookie
of my head.
year. That's why Flacco's the GOAT. You forgot to
He
mention
can
that
do
when
it
you
all.
said the GOAT versus
I
boat
said-
talk.
No, I said Flacco's elite. I
Yeah.
agreed.
You're
Oh,
gonna
did
be
we already
elite.
talk about? No, we didn't talk about the Ravens yet, did we? No.
Ravens game? No, we
No,
didn't get
okay,
there.
I was gonna say because I definitely want to talk about Lamar. I'm definitely becoming as a Steelers fan. It sucks for me to say, but I'm a big fan of him. Yeah, you're just ugly as shit.
No,
right?
I was looking at the timer. It's very small. I was like,
and it's in minutes.
yeah.
for some reason, so good luck converting.
No, I did it. I got mathematical.
Yeah, knock that off. Boom. Jaguars, Lions, out.
Okay.
Jets, Vikings, 22-27. I don't think we had a whole fucking hell of a lot about this
Kirk
game.
Cousins is elite.
Jets, Vikings, Mike White, 31 for 50. 31 for 57. Not great. What was that, 50-some% completion percentage?
Yeah.
369 yards, so 2 weeks in a row, almost 400 yards. Only problem is no touchdowns this week. He had 3 last week, 2 picks this week. Can't be throwing almost 400 yards, no touchdowns, 2 picks. Can't fucking do that in the NFL. Can't. Kirk Cousins, 21 for 35, 173 yards, 1 TD. That's Kirk Cousins football. Kirk Cousins playing Kirk Cousins football.
We love it.
I'm not saying it's a bad thing. The whole oh, he's a game manager. He's a game manager.
He's
a
one
game
of the
manager.
greatest game managers.
Does he win? Does he win football games? Yes. Okay. Boom. Guess what? Peyton Manning, game manager. He was the ultimate game manager. He was the field general game manager. Like, you see what I'm saying?
Let me argue a point that Kirk Cousins, everyone sleeps on Kirk Cousins. He has been a top 10 quarterback in the league for the past decade.
Yeah.
At the end
top
of it,
half. Top half. I don't know if I'd say top 10, but top half. Because his
Think
years,
about-
his
think
years,
about
in,
8, 9,
his
10.
years in Washington were rough.
Here's another example of a
I'm
late
just-
round. I'm
I'm
saying
just
he's
saying.
another example of a great late round pick for a quarterback because he was drafted 4th round. RG3 was drafted 1st round. I think he was drafted 4th or 5th.
Yeah, something like that.
So another great example of drafting a mid to late round quarterback, and no, but he plays great football for almost a decade. We'll say he's been arguably in that 9 or 8 through 15 spot.
Yeah, that's why I said top half, easily.
Top half, yeah.
Top half,
So-
I give you that.
In some years, even probably closer to top 5 even.
They're going to go on a deep playoff run.
Can they? I want them to. Here's the thing. I want them to go to the Super Bowl.
Okay, NFC.
I want-
What teams are they going to face in the NFC playoffs? Can you pull up the current playoff picture?
Yeah. Here, I got the biggest issue with this, Mike, because I did this playoff predictions, and I'm usually pretty.
They're
good.
10-2 right now. The only teams that they've lost to are the Eagles, and who else beat them? They lost to a good team. Was it the Bills? They've only lost. I think it was the Bills and the Eagles. They've lost to 2 of the best teams in the NFL.
Oh, there's the Vikings logo. Okay, there are 2 losses.
I know one was the Eagles.
Cowboys, 40-3.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
That was that embarrassment on Sunday Night Football.
Yeah,
That's
I like them
right.
Cowboys. And
Eagles.
yeah,
Eagles. Okay, I thought it was the Bills. Okay, but the Cowboys might be for real too. Who did they play this
They
week?
say that every year. Isn't that crazy?
Oh, 54 to fucking 19. Yeah, that's right. Scoregami. Whoop whoop.
No, Kirk Cousins, elite. I just want him to go to the Super Bowl so they can lose, and the Vikings can lose another Super Bowl. That's all I want. I just like the Vikings and the Bills losing Super Bowls.
Jefferson,
Justin
Offensive
Jefferson.
Player of the Year. So the stat keeps popping up, and I think we have honestly we have the same outlook on this
Okay.
because we have the same opinion when it comes to football. What wins football games?
Touchdowns.
Touchdowns. Touchdowns win football games. Does it matter if you score a 99-yard touchdown compared to a 1-yard touchdown?
A little bit, but not really.
On the scoreboard.
Want to score? No.
Do they give you style points with touchdowns?
They should, but they don't.
But do they?
No.
No? So, how many points is a touchdown worth?
6.
Does it matter if it's 1 yard or 99 yards?
No.
What if you get 75 yards but you don't cross the goal line? How many points do you get then?
0.
Does that amount of points help you win a football game?
No.
All right, I think I'm beating the dead horse enough. So let's get to
Yeah.
it. In their first 3 seasons, this is the comparison between Randy Moss and Justin Jefferson. Randy Moss in his first 3 seasons had 4,163 yards and 43 touchdowns. 43 touchdowns, okay? Justin Jefferson has, let's see if I'm doing the math, 85 more yards in his first 3 seasons
Yep.
than Randy Moss had, so that's 4,248 yards. So just 85 more yards, and that's so far. The season's not over yet. So I mean,
we got a handful of games left, you know.
so I mean, he can add another few hundred yards onto that. So I mean, yeah, bravo to him.
Yeah.
But he's only scored 22 touchdowns, and I don't know if that's counting last night because didn't he score a touchdown yesterday?
I believe he did. We didn't write it down.
Vikings 27. If I had to take a guess, Justin Jefferson scores touchdowns.
That's what he
He does, but he scored 22 of them. But Randy Moss scored 43, almost double that amount of touchdowns. And like I said, I know I'm beating a dead horse, but touchdowns win you football games. Would I rather have a receiver get the same amount of yards? Well, basically the same amount, get less yards, but score me twice as many amount of points, or get more yards and half as many amount of points? Well, that's fucking easy. That's literally so, I don't understand how that's even an argument. What do you have?
Oh, well, he got one touchdown. Yeah, he got one touchdown last night.
Yesterday, so okay, maybe 23.
Yeah.
It might be 22, might be 23.
Either way, it might be best bet. He gets closer to 30 by the end of the season.
Even still, 30 by the end of the season. That's still
That's a
13
lot of
more
touchdowns.
touchdowns. That's still almost 50% more touchdowns that Randy Moss had in his first 3 seasons. If
No, I'm saying like if we had let's say he had 5 touchdowns in the last 5 games, so he's like
27. So still a 50% increase because that would be what 13 and a half. That still doesn't even get you 43. So that's what I'm saying. Like Randy Moss's touchdown numbers were fucking ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, Justin Jefferson probably offensive player of the year with the stats and the shit he's doing. And that fucking one-handed yam that he had the other day against the Bills.
And since we all know that MVP is a quarterback's thing, that means Kirk Cousins wins MVP.
No, sorry, but
MVP is going to the NFC North. We just haven't decided what team.
the Jets are fucking weird because they're 7-5.
It's a winning record. They shouldn't have a winning record.
That's what I mean. The Jets are 7-5, and I think if they didn't have Zach Wilson in for a few games, they could probably be like 9-3 right now. The Jets at 9-3 is a very weird thing because what are the Bills right now? I know we covered the Bills at one point.
Yeah, the Bills.
The Bills are 9-3. The Bills are 9-3. That AFC East is fucking weird all
The
around.
Patriots are so good, and at the bottom of the division with a winning record.
6-6.
Had a winning record.
Yeah,
but
they were 6-5.
that's still a
Yeah.
positive record.
I don't get it. But it's the Jets. The Jets have so much potential, and I think if Mike White could evolve, yeah, I think if Mike White's the starter next year, the Jets could be a fucking problem because then he has an entire off season to work with everybody. Because right now, he's working, but he's probably been working with the twos most of the season,
Yeah.
and they're not going to throw the twos out there just because he has chemistry with them when you've got absolute dogs on the one squad. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and you can really see that with his targeting. Whenever I look, you got a couple. He spreads the ball around. You get 5+ targets. So
He doesn't have massive chemistry
8
with one
different-
person or another.
yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different targets that got 5 or more targets.
Yeah,
I mean, he's aiming for his number 1
And, I
guy,
mean, that's-
sure, but he's hitting the 3, 4, 5 guys too.
I was gonna say that says a lot because it shows that he's making his progressions through his reads because they're not just swapping number 4 guys in the one slot all the time.
No,
I mean, it does. I mean, yeah,
he's going
guys
to
are
throw to
getting
a familiar number. He's going to have that tendency, of course. So he's spreading the ball around.
but he's still hitting his ones.
Yeah, he doesn't. He's
So-
hitting his ones.
I mean, I don't know what
Not
stats
for
Garrett
Davis.
Wilson put up, but it's
Yeah,
like I said, the man threw for almost 400 yards, had no touchdowns.
Yeah.
That's a fucking problem. The Jets need to get that shit. They need to be able to punch it in the end zone. They've got running backs now with James Robinson, or maybe he went down too, but they have another dude. I'll never be able to tell you.
I have it. It's Knight. Is that Zach Knight? Zonovan Knight.
Oh. Anyway.
Okay.
But no, they just need to get their shit together. I think if they can get Zach Wilson out of the building, put him in a Sam Darnold situation,
Send him to
Just cut it
Carolina
early.
too.
yeah, fuck it. Honestly, why not? Just cut it early. get
And
him
bring
the
back
fuck
Cam
out.
Newton to Carolina.
No, they did that already.
Yeah, I know.
Again.
I'm back.
Again. Let's see. Commanders, Giants. That game was a fucking shitstorm. Honestly, here's my notes for the game. I'll read it to you word for word. Heineke, 27 for 41, 275 yards, 2 touchdowns. Jones, Daniel Jones, obviously, 25 for 31, 200 yards, 1 touchdown. Overall, bad football. Game stunk. I mean, that's pretty fucking blatant to the point. The score was 20-20. It went into overtime. Nobody should have won that game. Nobody should have had to sit and watch that game. I feel like everybody in the entire, where was that? New York, so the New Jersey metropolitan area where they
Yeah.
play at, New Rutherford, New Jersey. They should have been given about tree fitty for all their trouble.
I think that, and I heard this argument a lot during the beginning of the season and middle of the season. Now that we're closing towards the end, you don't hear it as much because of current record. Everyone's saying how the Giants are the worst team who are undefeated at that time. They're the worst whatever record team, and they say that every single week as they kept winning and winning.
Because they were.
They do not have the stars, but they were winning games because they had they arguably could have the best chemistry. Not to mention Daniel Jones, a GOAT. And that's a fake take. That's a fake take.
It's a very hot take if it is one.
No, it's boiling. No, Daniel Jones is not bad. He's another one of those. He's what Jared Goff could be in reality.
Yeah.
It's really those are almost one-to-one comparisons. They don't. Neither team have great players at any major position for the most part.
Yeah.
They got some key players. They got some good players. They're not top 5 players at any one of their positions. And but when it comes to things like that, I think that Daniel Jones does very good work. That's probably the best way I could say that.
No, he's yeah, but like I said, anyway, that game stunk. Titans 10, Eagles 35. Let's see, where's this? I know I wrote stuff for this for sure. Jalen Hurts went 29 for 39, 380 yards, 3 touchdowns through the air, 1 on the ground, no picks, no fumbles. Ryan Tannehill went 14 for 22, 141 yards. He didn't have any fumbles, did he?
Tannehill?
No, Hurts
Hurts?
yesterday.
I don't believe so. Not that I saw.
Oh, okay. Yeah, Tannehill went 14 for 22, 141 yards, 1 touchdown. That's a Ryan Tannehill game. Derrick Henry couldn't get going yesterday. Just wasn't his day.
No, I'm not seeing any fumbles.
Okay, how did Derrick Henry? I don't think Derrick Henry even rushed for 100 yesterday. I could be wrong. But
He rushed for 30.
yeah, that's fine. You kept him under 50. If you stop Derrick Henry, you stop the Titans' offense. The score was, obviously reflective of it, 35-10. If they can't get Derrick Henry going, that entire offense is shut down. We'll get into the MVP conversation. Jalen Hurts has to be in there. Are the Eagles the Super Bowl favorites?
At this time, you have no choice but
They're
to
11-1.
Yeah.
And their one loss was to the Reds. The Commanders.
Of course. You almost.
I almost blew it. Episode 1. Wow. No, but honestly, can I be honest with you? I kind of knew that the Commanders were going to be the ones to end the streak.
Who else?
They ended the Steelers' 11-0 streak just 2 years ago.
I did the Commanders
Maybe
didn't do
3
that.
years ago. Huh?
Commanders didn't do that.
Was that the football team?
That was the football team.
Or was it name redacted?
It's the football team.
I don't remember who it was.
It was the football team.
I'd say it might have been name
You got beat by a
redacted.
team with no name.
Team with no name? Yeah, I think that's what. We got beat by a team with no name. Yeah, I think so. I think you're right. So it's actually tragic, but that's something you could have seen. But 11-1, the Super Bowl favorites. I don't know what it's like on the gambling sites, but I think it's got to be the Eagles. They probably put the Chiefs up there at 1 because everybody's gobbling Mahomes nuts. Well, it's
Which Mahomes?
Pat.
I was gonna say his brother Jackson.
I was like, no, I don't think people are a big fan of him. But it's
Definitely not Commander fans.
No.
Time out. Can we talk about their statue?
The statue to Sean
Statue.
Taylor.
Yeah.
Yeah, their little
Their
display
mannequin.
of him. Yeah. What's your issue with it?
I hate it so much.
What about it?
So I'm sure you saw it.
Yeah, I saw it. I'm familiar with it.
Yeah, Nike jersey,
Yeah.
Reebok pants.
Okay.
They obviously there was like a hollow.
It was like a
mannequin,
wire mesh kind of
Wire
thing, which was
mannequin,
disrespectful.
Which I can understand if the whole thing looked like it looked incomplete. They could have done that wire mesh. They could have made it fill in more, but still have the wire mesh.
It was
Now
just
they
like a
could've-
wire mesh frame. It looked like
Frame.
it more belonged on it. Like it was rushed. It wasn't a complete
Yeah.
project.
But like you can't have those inconsistencies. They didn't have the tape on the face mask. They gave him accessories that he didn't typically wear.
He had soccer shoes, but the wrong kind of soccer shoes.
It would have been so easy to get these things done correctly. They
You're
had,
a billion-dollar organization.
not to mention they had this stuff already at one point. How hard would it be for you to?
And guess who? If
Open
you
up the-
don't, guess who does? Canton. And you don't think Canton would let you put a display up in your stadium? And then guess what? If they want it, they'll fucking take it. They'll give you a little sign to put on there your display, like, "Hey,
We'll be
currently
back."
residing at Hall of Fame. We'll be back."
Yeah.
And
It's so simple.
like, I don't fucking, I don't get it. They and like the same thing when they had that big tribute to Sean Taylor. What was it last year?
Last year.
With Jackson Mahomes dancing on his fucking thing.
Even
Still,
that
even
wasn't
that little fucking
Like,
logo.
that was bad. That was bad. But like that was a headline that was used, but it was so bad in general. It was rushed because it had all those allegation things that happened like the week before because Gruden was about to drop a bomb on them. I don't know what they silenced him.
I'm still waiting to see what happens with that Gruden stuff because to
Yeah.
me it makes no sense how there's almost a quarter. I'm sorry. There are 750,000 emails, 700-some thousand emails,
Yeah.
right? If I'm correct. And John Gruden is the only one in trouble.
And we know that's not true. And
That's-
that's even said he'll take half the league down with them.
I wish he fucking
He
would
should.
scorch earth this bitch.
Yeah.
You know who's safe? Mike T.
Tom, okay. You
Coach
said
Mike-
Mike. You said
Coach
T.
Mike-
I was like, that's a weird way to spell Mike White. Like,
No,
Mike
Coach,
White's safe.
Coach Mike Tomlin. That man's the GOAT. He'll take everybody to the promised land. He can't do no wrong.
Can't do no wrong.
Sorry, he's gonna finish 8.
Matt Canada's not even CC'd, so I think he's safe.
No, I hope not. They can take him
He's
out.
safe. They're gonna cut him anyway.
So they can take his ass out. I don't care.
Yo, how awful. Like, Matt Canada's like, I had no idea what emails you're referring to. I thought I was in the group chat. It hasn't been active in 6 months.
Oh, I did write this down. I just hope I can. I don't know if I check this.
199 yards.
I think that is 199
That's
yards. AJ Brown against his old team, 8 receptions, 199 yards, 2 tugs. That's 50 yards of reception. I feel like that should be 179 or 119.
No, it looks
I
like
think
it was
that is.
either
I
a
think it's
4.
119. It's 119 because I was gonna write a 9. It's 119. I promise you.
Okay, so I won't even double check. I'll take your word for it.
I don't even want to ask because it'll just cause problems. But no, it was a fucking. I don't want to call it a revenge game, but it was basically like a homecoming, and he showed out. You know, like it was. I can't even call it a homecoming because the game was played in Philly.
Yeah.
So but that was just. It was an ass whooping, 35-10. There's nothing you can say about it. That game was an absolute ass whooping. They got dog walked. Eagles. Super Bowl favorites. Can we have a Pennsylvania Super Bowl with the Steelers and Eagles coming up?
No,
Possibly.
the Eagles aren't gonna make it.
Next game I got here: Broncos, Ravens. AJ, please take this one away because I don't even want to talk about this one.
Oh,
don't know if it's that one.
okay.
I think it's this one here somewhere.
We talked about it. We
I know we did because we had notes about how.
There we go. Okay.
Oh yeah.
Broncos,
We didn't-
Ravens. There we go.
I like that note. I wanna. Yeah, you can bring that one up.
We'll get to that.
Okay. Yeah.
So Broncos, Ravens. Final score: 10-9. Ravens. Jackson, 3 for 4, 11 yards prior to injury. Huntley went in 27 out of 32, went 187 yards, 1 interception. Russell Wilson for the Broncos, 17 of 22 with 189 yards. I think, okay, I'm not going to bring up that note quite yet, but I genuinely think on that last drive with the Broncos on offense, we were seeing a little bit of old school Russ. Just a hint,
He
which could be very promising. I mean, their season's over. I think are they mathematically eliminated quite yet? I don't think so.
They should be, but I don't know about their division. Who's all in their division? The fucking I don't even have that. We should be way better prepared. I mean, 5-7 Raiders, the 6-6 Chargers. What are they? They're 3-9. So I mean, I don't think technically there's too many games. In the Chiefs.
Yeah. Okay. So they're 3-9. So their
The
best case scenario.
The AFC's too close. They're still technically because they could go 7-9, and that could be a 7 spot in the AFC playoffs.
Well, 8-9 because they're 17. They can go 8-9.
Thank you.
Which that's second in the division. That's at best case scenario because the Chiefs are already 9-3.
Well, and with the AFC, that might be a 7 seed, maybe.
Yeah. And
But
so
they have to win out. Do you see this Broncos team winning out? I don't
see-
even see
I
this.
see
I barely even see this Broncos game winning 2 more. I really do. There's how many games left do we have? 5.
Yeah, and see how many games.
I don't even know who they play, but I don't see them winning 2 more games. Do you? Who's their remaining schedule?
Chiefs.
Lose.
But it's fine because the Chiefs are already.
All right. Well,
They're
all right.
already division
So
leaders.
who's their next 4?
Cardinals.
That's
Is
tough.
McCoy still starting for the Cardinals?
I don't know because they had a bye week this week.
I think
so
Murray's back.
he might be. I don't know.
Rams. That's
Very
iffy.
iffy. I was gonna say
The
it's an iffy-
Rams have been very shaky
I
recently,
don't know
so
what
that
the
is a
Rams
game that
are.
the Broncos could win if
They
Russ russes. Chiefs again.
Mm-hmm.
That's a loss.
Yeah. So right
And
now
the Chargers.
that's probably a loss. Like the thing is like the Broncos defense.
The
It's
Chargers
so-
are only here's the thing. The Chargers are only 6-6, and their remaining games are the Dolphins.
That's a loss.
Yeah. The Titans. That's a maybe.
That's probably where's
Probably
Where's
a
the
loss.
game played? Where's the game played?
It looks like it's at Charger. No. Yeah, at Chargers.
Who's at the bottom?
Chargers.
Yeah, it's at Chargers. Okay,
Yeah.
so in LA.
Okay.
So that's toss up.
Yeah. Colts.
That's a win.
Yeah. Rams.
That's
I got my money on the Rams on that one.
that's a toss up.
Yeah, we'll say toss up. And then the Broncos again, of course.
That's
I think that if there is a last seed team, I'm not going to say that actually because I think the Patriots have a good chance of getting to the playoffs, of course. But the
No,
AFC,
I
as you said,
think-
are so close.
I think look at the AFC East. Buffalo, head of their division right now.
Yeah.
Then you've got the Jets. You've got the Dolphins. You've got the Patriots. 3 teams are probably making it out of that division. I think it's the Jets, Dolphins, Bills. The Patriots just don't have the juice for the squeeze. I don't think they make the playoffs this
Well,
year.
okay, then I'll say this. If there's any team that is currently last in the division that can still make it to the playoffs, it'll probably be the Broncos in the AFC.
No.
Well,
It's
their
not the
competition.
Texans.
I was going to say their competition are the Patriots, which there's just too many people in their division to
Steelers.
fight against. Steelers,
Steelers are going to make the playoffs. What do you mean?
fair enough.
Wait, no, what do you mean?
Texans.
Yeah.
Well, next is the NFC teams, but I'm just going to list them anyway, just
Okay.
because. The NFC East is making it to the playoffs. That's it. NFC East making it to the playoffs. No questions about it.
Yeah. But the
Right.
entire division can't make it.
Yes, I can. There's
Technically.
yeah. There's 3 wild cards now. So
Yeah,
that's
so
all-
technically all NFC East. That would be so nutty.
And to think that none of them were
Because-
good. None of them had winning records. What 3 years ago?
Well, no, not the entire NFC East, because then the Commanders would have to make it.
They could. Say if Eagles get the first, they get
Yeah.
the.
I know, but I don't think the
Division.
Commanders are going to make it. What?
They play the Giants.
No.
Giants. Back to back. Oh no, sorry. Wait, that's weirdly written.
They just played the Giants, and then they got a bye week.
And they play the Giants again.
Yeah.
Okay, that's so
Because the
weird.
Giants have a game in between.
I was gonna. Okay. Then the
That's
49ers, then the Browns, and the Cowboys. Other than the Cowboys, the rest of them are pretty much guarantees.
And the 49ers. Don't sleep on the 49ers. Ever since McCaffrey's come to that team, that thing's fucking changed.
It is nice. It
That's
is a nice
a
team.
totally different team. Let's move off this. One thing with the Ravens, real quick. Two things with the Ravens Broncos game.
Sure.
On the Broncos side of it, Russ's house is actually winning the season with the amount of bathrooms in it. Russ's house has 12 bathrooms. Russell Wilson has 3 wins on the season. He has 8 passing touchdowns and only a total of 9 touchdowns. And I think he actually has more turnovers than he has bathrooms in his house. So that's pretty shitty, and he can't even flush them down their own each individual commode. So that.
Yeah, we're looking at 5 interceptions,
Do they each get their own individual commode?
2 fumbles, so only a total of 7 turnovers.
Oh, well. Hey, how many losses, though?
Too many.
9?
Yeah.
So that's 16 bad things compared to, what is that? 12 good things?
Yeah.
So we're looking at more bad things than good things for Russ. So is Russ cooking, or is he setting the kitchen on fire?
Let him cook.
I think Nathaniel Hackett's going to get fired at the end of the season because there's no way they just paid Russ over 100-some million. Guaranteed. Like, they're not getting rid of him. So they're going to fire Nathaniel Hackett. They just got the richest owner in the NFL. They can afford to, you know. they can afford to, you know, slap some millions around.
Sorry, Nick Saban.
And with one thing on the Ravens side, fucking pay Lamar.
He's
Pay
injured.
Lamar, if not.
He's not worth it anymore. He's injured.
So are they going to franchise tag him next year, or are they going to let him walk?
I'd have to see what he'd be calculated because
He'd
what
make
is it?
like,
It's the
he'd make
average.
like, yeah, he'd make like I think he'd make like 50 million next year.
I think they have no choice but to
Franchise tag him because he's in a iffy situation, and I see the same issue coming up with Josh Allen eventually,
Mm-hmm.
with Jalen Hurts, any scrambling quarterback. You take a quarterback value of salary
Uh-huh.
with the expected longevity of a running back.
Mm-hmm.
Because let's say they don't get major hurt, but eventually they're going to get old and they're going to stop running as much.
Uh-huh.
you can't give them
Long-term money for long-term quarterback play if you're not going to get the long-term success that got him that contract.
But
Mahomes is a little different.
look at business, how business is being done, though. The Browns fucked the quarterback market easily. Giving Deshaun, what, 230?
Yeah.
230 guaranteed. Without him playing a snap of football for the Browns, without him playing football in like a year and a half for the Texans. And they give him 230 guaranteed just to walk in the door. I think that's a move by the Browns strategically because he knows he's got cheap owners in the Bengals. He's got cheap owners in the Ravens. He's got cheap, I don't even want to say cheap owners in the Steelers, but like the Steelers are known for giving quarterback friendly, like team friendly contracts for the quarterback because Big Ben's been doing it for literally ever.
Yeah.
So, like, don't expect Pittsburgh to pay a quarterback a whole shit ton of money either. Especially the way Kenny's playing right now. If he's playing this way, like, don't expect him to be getting banked either. Because, like, this whole, what is it, 5 touchdowns, 8 picks or something like that. Yeah, that's...
Gross.
We can't be doing that. That's absolutely ridiculous. And it might be, I don't know if the Browns are smart enough to be making a move like that. But I don't want to give them that kind of credit. But like you have to look at it at the overall landscape. Like they're changing how business is being done. Kyler got a $230.5 million contract or $235 million contract with like 160 something guaranteed.
Yeah.
Russ got 200 million, right, with 100 something guaranteed.
He's getting money.
Yeah, 240 with 165 guaranteed. Like these guys are getting paid. But like the Deshaun fully guaranteed, and that's what Lamar wants now. He's like, yo, I'm way better than this fucking guy. I've got an MVP under my belt. I've got playoff success under my belt.
He doesn't have
Like I've got the stats.
those other things.
I don't have all that fucking drama going on behind the scenes. Not even behind the scenes, out in the fucking public eye. Behind the outside of the locker room, I don't have all this extra shit. So pay me my money. And you know what they need to do? Pay Lamar his fucking money. If they don't, like, they're either going to franchise tag him next year for like $50 million. And if he performs well again next year, Do they pay him? Probably not,
They
because
can
he's gonna.
franchise 2 years. And
They
then
can and that's going to cost them. I think at that point it's a percentage increase. It's like 65 million. So over the next 2 years, he's guaranteed, and that's all fully guaranteed money.
yeah.
So if they franchise tag him for the next 2 years, he's guaranteed like 115 million, give or take. I don't know the exact number, but it's within that 110 to 120.
I would play that move if I was the Ravens.
If I was Lamar, like, yeah, sign your franchise tag. If that's what the Ravens decide to do, sign that.
Yeah.
Like, I get that. That's the only business move they can make at this point. If the guaranteed money is what they're saying, like, no, we're not going to budge on.
Yeah.
But like the thing is, all of next year's money is going to have to be guaranteed, and all of the following year's money is going to have to be guaranteed if they franchise him the next 2 years.
Yeah.
So just you're gonna have to guarantee him his money, and then what are you gonna do if he performs those next 2 years? Are you gonna let him walk in free agency and make bank, or are you gonna try to pay him and do right by him at that point since he's stuck by you for 2 years on the franchise tag? What if he takes you to a Super Bowl?
If I am the Ravens, this is how I see the situation playing out. Franchise tag him
Mm-hmm.
the next year if he does well. Franchise tag him again. He gets his guaranteed money. Now, after the second year, you have a very cheap backup in Huntley who performs very well in comparison to Lamar. He's really almost just as good, you could argue. Very similar play. There's nothing wrong. Now, there's a lot of.
Let's talk about this year real quick,
Sure.
because like this year is still a very good. He's only got a sprained PCL.
Yeah.
He's gonna probably be out for the next 4 weeks. He can easily come back for the beginning of the playoffs, which
Yeah.
the Ravens are 8-4 right now.
Yeah.
Still easily have a shot at the
Extremely good shot
playoffs.
at making it, yeah.
If Lamar comes back for the playoffs, Ravens make a run because they got a fucking squad out there.
Yeah.
Ravens make a run, make it to the Super Bowl. Ravens win the Super Bowl. Do you pay Lamar?
Depends how well Huntley does in those games while Lamar's gone. At that point, you can make the argument: who do you start in the playoffs if Lamar comes back? Once again, depends on.
Well, if
Play.
it's only 4 weeks.
Yeah.
Because let's say, what are they, 8-4 right now? So 4 weeks. We'll say they go 2-2.
Okay.
Well, we'll say half. We'll
Let's say
give him
10
the
and
benefit of the
6.
doubt. So that's 10-6 when he comes back. Plays that last game. We'll go 11-6.
Okay.
Yeah, and Lamar takes you to the Super Bowl.
Sure.
Do you pay Lamar?
Well, let's say we change this narrative. Let's say they're 8-4,
And
then
Huntley
Huntley goes
goes
4-0. Last game of the season. Well,
Give
Let's
Lamar
just-
that last game.
let's let Lamar. Let's hold off on Lamar.
Because
Let's let him heal up all the way.
that's real situation dependent. Because at that point in the season, if they go 12-4, they could be fighting for a first round spot in the play. And if you're fighting for a first round playoffs,
You go with the hot
bye.
hand. I say you go with the hot hand.
you go with the guy that got you those first 8 wins, in my opinion. Because it all depends on how you play these next 4 games. If Huntley, like you said, depends on how he plays. If he's slinging it and throwing 4 touchdowns a game,
Yeah, if you get 4 wins with
okay,
Huntley,
yeah,
you let him play that last
yeah.
game.
If he gets you 16 touchdowns over the next 4 weeks, even if he gets you 12 touchdowns over the next 4 weeks, 3 touchdowns a game on average, okay, let Huntley play that last game. Then let Lamar fully recover, come back for the playoffs. But if Huntley is playing like an average quarterback, we'll just say an average quarterback,
Okay.
because and Huntley's good. Huntley looks like to me. I even wrote this down. I think where is it at? Huntley is the perfect backup for Lamar.
They're
Like
very
their
similar play
style is so fucking similar, and like Huntley's the skill drop off isn't that fucking far. I think Huntley could be a very serviceable starter on a lot of NFL teams. Personally,
I think
seeing like the limited play, like the limited amount of stuff that we've seen him play in preseason, and like a couple of times when Lamar's been out for like COVID and shit like that.
yeah.
Huntley's played well, and he's done a lot of like good things, and he looks. I don't want to say he looks like Lamar, because Lamar's different, but like he kind of looks like Lamar out
It looks
there.
like Lamar.
You know, I would say that's what the kind of scary thing is. He kind of looks like Lamar.
So why would you pay Lamar money if you don't have to? Get a great value Lamar. I mean, man, I love this Bentley, but this Volkswagen drives just as fast.
No, I get that. I do, but like if you're taking it to just as fast, yeah, but is it just as fast?
How
That's the
fast do
thing.
you need it to go? Do I need a car that can
We're
go?
racing. We're fucking racing. I mean, you got 17 sprints, and you better hope you got the fastest car out of 17 of those sprints. So do you want to have the one that you know every time is faster, or the one where like, hey, if you just happen to put the right gas in that Volkswagen, it's gonna be going that week, or you know, hey, that Bentley, you could fart in the fuel tank and that thing's scooting. You get what I'm saying?
I get what you're saying, but at what point can you save the money?
Moore took a shit in the middle of a game, came back and won. I don't want to hear it. Has Huntley done it? Has Huntley had a shit game?
No,
No.
Huntley doesn't have shitty games. Huntley's go to with the sauce.
Moore literally stopped, went and took a shit in the middle of a Browns game, came back and said, you know what, fuck it, let's get this dub. I gotta go home and poop. So
Pretty sure Vince Carter did that during a basketball game too.
I
That's
don't
what they
know.
have carried off.
That wasn't Vince Carter.
No, that
Don't
was,
disrespect. That was I want to say Ray Allen. I'll say it wasn't Vince Carter. Don't disrespect Vince Carter like that. The dude's a dog. But I definitely think it was Ray Allen or Paul Pierce.
It might have been.
I think it might have been Paul Pierce. Yeah, because it was a Celtic. I mean, they were both Celtics.
Paul
but I think
Pierce,
it
yeah.
was Paul Pierce that
He
got,
pooped
yeah.
his pants in a final game. Like, I'm not getting up. I got brown pants.
Don't get
on.
me wrong, I'm a big believer, and I tell all my men this that work for me, like, hey, like, if you shit your pants, I will understand if you go home.
Don't even come back.
Yeah, and I'm not in a rude way, like, by that time you have to go home, get undressed, probably literally
Shower.
wash that shit out of your clothes, that way it doesn't stain, or even just throw them away, whatever.
Yeah.
Probably throw them away.
Yeah.
I mean, if you shit your pants, just say
Just
fuck it,
throw away today.
Just throw the whole fucking thing
If you
away.
had lunch planned that day, throw that out too.
But yeah, that's what I mean. Just like go home, get cleaned up.
Just
like,
shit.
yeah. No pun intended, but like get your shit together and like try again tomorrow. And like if you're gonna shit yourself again the next day, don't.
That's how I get off every day. Get off of work. It's
I gotta get my shit,
lunchtime.
gotta get my shit together. All right, we only got a few. Browns, Texans. We didn't write shit down. Fuck it. Seahawks, Rams. I had a couple notes here for that game. We'll just run through my notes at this point. If you find it, AJ, take it.
I think it's on the other side.
Oh, there it is. Go ahead.
Where?
Seahawks. Okay.
Geno Smith, 28 of 39, 367 yards, 3 touchdowns, 1 interception. With Wolford, backup quarterback now.
John Wolford.
My bad. Okay, sorry. Yeah, John Wolford, 14 of 26, 178, 2 interceptions. Plus and minuses of the games.
I mean, Geno, in my opinion, I'll say this: I'm a West Virginia fan. I've been rooting for Geno since he got drafted to the fucking Jets. And it didn't work out. Man got his shit wrecked. Like
He
his
literally
jaw-
had his jaw. Yeah.
he got his jaw fucking shattered and whatever. Like his progression through the years went to the Jets, to the Giants, to the Bills. Now, not the Bills. From the Giants to the Seahawks.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Not the Bills. I don't know why I said. I was thinking Trubisky for a second. He
Can I-
went to the Bills.
Yeah, can I make a stupid note here on why on earth would they ever bench Eli for Geno?
No,
That's
trust
old
me.
news,
Like I
but-
said, I made it clear. I'm a massive Geno Smith fan. I am. I'll say it.
That was a goofy move by the Giants.
That was the dumbest thing they could have done. Like, why ruin his Iron Man streak? There was no reason. Like, he was.
Yeah, and then you look
No
at his
way.
like, numbers at the end of his career, and they're listening like, Eli Manning started 477 games out of 478. Cool. That means nothing to me.
Yeah, what the fuck? So it was. I think that was stupid. Right here, we were looking at the. Oh, real quick, Baker Mayfield went to the Rams today.
Yes.
That's quick note, quick thing of news that happened a couple hours ago. Baker Mayfield went to the Rams. He got claimed off of waivers.
correct.
Definitely snatched away from the Niners who were trying to claim him. So Rams being fucking sneaky.
Rams being Rams.
255 of the 367 offensive passing yards from Geno went to Tyler Lockett and DK Metcalf. Basically a fucking even split, 128 and 127 respectively. So like, that's no bueno.
Yeah, I mean that's his number 1 and number 2 target. So obviously they're going to get the majority of the load, but you don't only them. You know, if I'm going to be a team lining up against them in the future, I'm like, okay, I got 1 corner, 1 linebacker on this guy, 1 corner, 1 linebacker on this guy, and I got 1 safety to watch the other 3.
Well, you see like they do that, and like they still can't stop them. Like DK is still that fucking dude, and Tyler Lockett will still outrun your fastest corner. Like there's still dudes out there,
They are
and
dudes.
they've got a fucking squad. Like I just like their defense is kind of suspect. They're 7-5 going into the stretch. They're gonna have a tough run because their division is still, even though bad how the Rams are,
Yeah.
the Rams can still come and get you. The Rams can sneak up. They can snag a game from you in this division.
Now they got a franchise quarterback.
John Wolford.
But no.
John.
Speaking of Wolford, for a backup quarterback,
Yes.
just being plugged in.
Mhm.
Obviously, he wasn't just plugged in this week, but
He got plugged in
Last
last
year,
year
that's
in
on-
that last game of the season or the playoff game, whatever.
yeah.
You remember
And he
was,
played a little bit before. I mean, he's
Goff
plugged
was a healthy scratch. Wolford went in. Wolford got hurt during the game, and then Goff went in.
Yeah, so Wolford is a backup that you could plug in and say, hey, win us this game. If you don't, no big deal. We weren't expecting it. This is a guy that knows your offense. You really just did that all over my chicken strips.
And
Sorry.
like that.
It's
Anyway,
This is
I had that train of thought. But he's a guy that you say, okay, he knows the offense well. He is cheap.
he can make the throws that we need him to make.
Is Stafford under contract for next year?
I believe so.
Ride it out. It depends on what his cap hit is. If he's got a decent cap hit, ride it out one last year, unless the dude retires, and then that eliminates his cap hit. Because, like, the Rams have no fucking draft picks for the next, I don't know, 17 years. I don't know. Like, I don't know if my kids will ever see a Rams draft pick in my life.
Through the 2026 season.
That no draft picks?
No, I'm saying that's how long his contract is for Stafford.
Oh, shit.
He's there for the long haul.
Whoops, sorry to anybody with headphones, but that's no bueno. My last note on this game. This is the worst Super Bowl hangover I think we've ever seen.
Yeah.
A team
it hit hard.
go in the Super Bowl and then they're fucking 3-9 and they don't look good. Like they don't look good. They look like a shell of themselves.
They lost a lot of key
terrible.
players. They got a lot of injuries.
But they just still don't. Even their players that are there and playing, they just don't look good. I mean, Bobby Wagner is still Bobby Wagner. That's
Yeah.
about the one thing. Jalen Ramsey is. They're just not throwing that way for the most part because it's Jalen Ramsey. Smart, but other than that, like Aaron Donald, is Aaron Donald playing or is he hurt?
He's been.
I thought he got hurt. I could be wrong. I thought he got hurt, but
I
like,
think he's been out for a little bit. I don't think it was season ending, but
yeah. So it's just like this is the worst thing that could have happened to them. And I don't want
They
to say I
sold
feel
their
bad
soul
for
for the
them,
Super
but like
Bowl,
it's
but,
just
yeah.
that sucks.
They got their ring.
Okay, so
That helps a lot of Hall of Fame arguments for a lot of players with that one ring.
Yeah, no, like Aaron Donald. That right there probably.
Matt Stafford. Eric Weddle.
Oh yeah, he was on that team.
He was on that team.
Yeah.
Von Miller. He was already
He,
good,
he,
but like
now
this
he's a
definitely
two-time Super
solidifies
Bowl
him.
champ and possibly with the Bills this year. He could be
Yeah.
a 3-time Super Bowl champion
To be
with 3
fair.
different teams.
It's very scary. I don't think it would be the first time in NFL history that happened, but it's definitely
The first time in modern NFL history.
it's been a while. Within the
possibly.
past 90 years, I mean, it's not 90, past like 10, 20 years since the 90s.
Yeah, no, that I think that right there is going to put a lot of asterisks on stuff, especially like Sean McVay's coaching career, because like he hasn't been great. He had one good year with Goff, which was the Super Bowl run year.
Yeah.
They lost,
Yeah.
and then the Super Bowl run year with Stafford, they won. So like, that's it. I checked that.
Yeah, I know
out.
you checked
We
it off.
didn't
I was just
we didn't
setting
talk
us up
about
for the
it.
next one.
We didn't talk about this one at all.
I thought we were. Oh,
no,
you
we
already
talked
checked it
about
off.
this one, but I checked it off because I was going to start, but we continued the conversation
Okay,
about it. That's
okay.
my fault. Next, we got the last couple coming up. What do we got? 5 left, I think. Dolphins, Niners. Tua went 18 for 33, 295, 2 tuds, 2 picks. That not a good game. I mean, the Dolphins ended up score of the game was Dolphins 17, 49ers 33. This is Mike McDaniel playing his first game back against his old team. Where he was offensive coordinator for the Niners last year. First game playing against them. They know what he's going to do. He absolutely just got his teeth kicked in yesterday. Jimmy Garoppolo got hurt in yesterday's game, broke his foot, out for the rest of the season. Niners are scrambling to find a quarterback. Right now, what they've got is Mr. Irrelevant himself starting.
Yes.
Think about that. When you think of Mr. Irrelevant, slim chance of him being a quarterback to start with. Normally,
Yeah.
tight end,
Kicker.
lineman, yeah, kicker. Not a position that's like possibly even going to take up a spot on your practice squad.
Yeah.
Like, so the fact that Brock Purdy, Mr. Irrelevant, is now the starter for the San Francisco 49ers.
Sounds like a
He-
movie.
Came in 25 for 37, 210 yards, 2 tuds, 1 pick, and looked good out there.
That's a
Not
good
gonna
game.
lie.
It really is.
Watching the highlights, I didn't watch the full game, so I didn't see every single throw that he made. So excuse me, I'm not a Niners fan. I don't know what game. What game was I watching at 4 o'clock? Chiefs Bengals.
Chiefs.
I was watching Chiefs Bengals.
Like
so
everyone else.
that was a great fucking game. But Tua possibly MVP conversation. We'll get there. That's one of the last things we're going to cover before we call it a day. Are the Dolphins going to make a deep playoff run?
They have a lot of competition. They really do. And given the play that they just saw from this past week, I think a lot of teams are going to look at that and see what they can do to mimic.
They're
the
like
49ers.
6-1 when Tua started and finished every game.
But can he stay on the field?
Obviously not if they're
Yeah, that's what I'm
8 and
saying.
4.
That's what I'm saying. Like, can he stay in the field when it comes to that long stretch?
In my opinion, Niners are going to start running. I think if Purdy can not fuck this up, and that's it. All he's got to do is not fuck this up. I think the Niners could be a pretty decent playoff team. Defense, great.
Yeah.
Offense, weapons, all over the board. McCaffrey, right here.
Let McCaffrey throw the ball. Just pitch it to McCaffrey. Let him throw it. you know?
McCaffrey had almost half of the team's total yards the other day. 8 receptions, 80 yards, 1 touchdown. 17 carries for 66 yards. That's 146 yards of the team's 351. Since they added him, they're learning how to plug and play him into their offense, and it's just scary seeing what they do because they already had Deebo Samuel. Is Brandon
Yeah, okay.
Ayuk still there?
Yeah. Yeah.
George Kittle's still a fucking dog.
They just don't use him.
Top 3 tight end in the league. Like they've got weapons all over the place. So I think they could possibly make a little bit of a run in my opinion. That's my the 49ers are my dark horse playoff favorite to get there in my opinion. That's me. So now that's crossed off.
Okay. Now, ready for the next one.
Fun.
All right. Chiefs Bengals. Final score was Bengals 27, Chiefs 24. Mahomes throwing 16 of 27, 223 yards and 1 touchdown. Burrow throwing 25 of 31, 286 yards, 2 touchdowns. Both good performances from quarterbacks. No mistakes when it comes to interceptions. And, I mean, they're both playoff caliber teams. They're going to see each other again in the
They're
playoffs.
probably going to run
Very
into each
likely.
other.
Very likely late in the playoffs.
But with that, what I got here, since 2021 season,
Okay.
Chiefs are 20-2 against all their opponents, except for the Bengals. They're 0-3 against the Bengals. They're 0-3 against the Bengals in the calendar year. Since the start of 2022, they were 0-3. The last game of the season, Week 17,
Okay.
they lost against the Bengals.
Yeah.
AFC Championship game, lost against the Bengals. This game, lost to the Bengals.
I actually did just see a similar stat. Burrow is the only quarterback to beat the Chiefs
beat Mahomes Chiefs.
Other than Brady and Burrow, the only two
Yeah,
to beat Mahomes Chiefs 3 times,
yeah, it's ridiculous.
which is very specific. You know, it's
Stats
are
work for
very-
everybody.
yeah. Kirk Cousins is the greatest quarterback of all time using the right stats.
Yeah.
I don't think there's another quarterback that threw as many passing yards to Justin Jefferson. So
The Bengals are starting to look good. Like if you watching those highlights and watching like the game yesterday, like as I said, not yesterday, 2 days ago, Sunday, and sat there and watched the game. These Bengals are looking scary. They've got fucking offense on. They've got weapons on offense. They've got T Higgins, Jamar Chase, Hayden Hurst.
Yeah.
Isn't that their tight end, Hayden Hurst? Am I
yeah,
misspeaking on that?
Yeah.
See, I don't think I have it here.
Or is Hurst the Ravens tight end?
They're fucking. Because it's not. They had a tight end last year, and I think he dipped. I think he got signed elsewhere.
Tight end. No, that is Hayden Hurst.
Okay, it is. Okay,
Who's
yeah.
the tight end for them? It doesn't matter who the tight end for the Ravens is. I
Mark
thought-
Andrews.
Okay, maybe I just.
We're
good.
But they're clicking on all fucking cylinders, and that defense, except for Eli Apple, is nasty. They're just they're filthy.
Rude, but I got you.
What?
No, I'm not
I
disagreeing. I'm just saying it's rude.
I'm just saying.
I ain't disagreeing. I'm just saying it's still rude.
Say what you want, but no, they're a playoff caliber team, and they're gonna make it there. They're 8-4 right now. This AFC is absolutely fucking loaded, absolutely loaded. But you pointed this out about the Chiefs.
Yeah.
What were you saying about them?
I was pointing out that Mahomes has been doing. He has so many weapons. He's really good at spreading that ball out to all of them. You know, he's got Juju now. He's got Valdez Scantley now. He's got
Two great additions to that
Yeah.
team. Two great.
I was very
additions.
skeptical at first, but he's doing great with them.
And they added Kadarius Toney.
Yeah, whenever I was making comments about it previously, I thought it was like, oh wow, they got so many great number 2 receivers. They can't do, let's see if they can do anything with them, and they are. He's treating every single one of them like a number 2 receiver. They're all getting catches, not many. They're all getting catches. They had 8 different receivers with less than 5 receptions. That being said, he still threw for over 200 yards.
Yeah.
So he's getting the ball out. He's getting touchdowns, obviously. He's getting your receivers are getting yardage. So he's making plays still with anyone he throws it to.
And no picks for either one of these guys. So they're both playing efficient football too, especially this time of year when guys are getting tired, guys are making mistakes.
They're sore.
They're playing good games. So I mean, like I said, that was a hell of a game. That was probably the best game that I watched, other than last night's game. That Bucks thing, and that I don't even know if I want to say that was a great game. Just that ending with Tom coming in, having the last 2 scores in the final 4 or 5 minutes. That's just Tom Brady football. We'll get to that in a second. Chargers, Raiders 27, Chargers 20. I didn't really watch a whole lot about this. Herbert went 28 for 47, 335, 1 ton. You can't throw over 300 yards and just have 1 ton. Can't do it. Derek Carr 16 for 30, 250 yards, 2 tuds, 1 pick. Not terrible. That's why they walked away with a dub. Chargers top 5 targets had over 5 catches and 60 plus yards. So not only are they spreading it around, but they're making shit happen when they're getting the catches. So that's 330 yards. I mean, honestly, if you look at it, that just meant how many targets did he have? Did he have over 5 targets, or was there because there couldn't have been that many? Because if that's 300 yards right there, and you only passed for 335, so what did he do? Throw to 6 dudes, and we only talked about 5.
Oh no!
I don't want to be the person skewing stats now. I was literally just saying
they're not
well,
skew stats. They're correct stats.
They are, no, that's what I mean. But are we skewing them in a point to make it look better than it actually is?
He box score. Yeah, that's Chargers.
Yeah, we're talking.
Okay,
Chargers.
yeah, that's what I meant. He had. Why am I misreading? 1, 2, 3, 4 other targets.
4 other targets. So 4 other targets caught how many yards? Tell me.
50 yards, it looks like. No, that's not adding up.
Something you told me ain't adding up. Let me
maybe
see
it was,
this.
yeah, it looks like it was only 4 targets. Still.
Yeah, okay, only 4 of them had 60.
Okay.
Okay, that's top 4 targets.
5 catches.
Yeah, had 5 catches, 60 plus yards. Okay, I mean that's still pretty good. But
Yeah. Okay.
I mean, still,
apologies,
that
I
still
must have
is
misread
what?
it earlier.
1, 2, 3, 4. I don't have 1 target, so it doesn't even count. Yeah, I guess he targeted 5 other receivers.
I mean, I still
for-
say that's impressive.
A total of what am I looking at? 29, 37, 40 yards. Yeah, so still almost 300 yards to 4 different receivers, and then 40 yards
To the other 5.
the other 4 receivers, because the one dude only got a target and no
He
catches.
sucks.
So,
I
I mean,
don't want to
he's-
say that, but catch the ball. That's
He's
all I can-
spreading it out to like his main dudes, his top 3 receivers and tight end.
Yeah.
That's
And they're
probably
getting
what's
yardage too.
happening.
Yeah.
Or probably his running back, because Austin Eckler is pretty solid in the receiving game. But what happened was Devontae Adams being 70% of the Raiders' offensive passing game. Everyone else on the team had 8 receptions for 73 yards.
Yeah.
That's everyone else on the team. Derek Carr 16 for 30. 8 receptions, 73 yards. That means Devontae Adams had 8 receptions. Now, I don't know if you remember at the beginning, I said Derek Carr had 250 yards. I'm just bringing up that everyone else had 73 yards reception. Quick math. That's 177 yards for Devontae Adams. 2 tuds. So, that's almost a passing day for some NFL teams, 177 yards.
Yeah.
He had that 2 tuds on 8 receptions. That's 20 point whatever. I don't feel like doing
How
that.
many
math
yards
in
you
my
say?
head.
177? That's more than Mariota had.
Yeah. He had more receiving yards than Mariota had passing yards.
And Prescott.
And Dak Prescott, which is
Who else we got here out of curiosity?
really even Dak Prescott.
Dak Prescott 170.
Oh yeah.
I agree. Let's continue down this list.
I think that's any.
Tannehill.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
These guys stink.
And Cousins. He got Cousins beat by 4 yards too.
Hold on, let's look on this. Oh, Wolford threw 178.
That's because Wolford's goated. What do you mean?
Jimmy Garoppolo.
He tripped.
So I mean, yeah, that's. I don't even know what to say. Like Devontae Adams, that's the reason they went out and got him. But
Yeah.
other than that, the Raiders still fucking stink. They're 5-7. They still stink.
They're trying to make the playoffs still.
They're still better than the Broncos.
Well, that's typical.
Finally, Scorigami. 19-54. Colts got their fucking teeth kicked in. Colts absolutely got shit on. Cowboys just had their way with them. Tony Pollard ran down the fucking throats. Ezekiel Elliott got loose. That was the story of the whole fucking game.
Yeah,
Like
I'm gonna get some stat comparison between Pollard and Elliott.
That-
Jeez, I'm stuttering.
That CD Lamb touchdown might be top 10 play of the year.
It was a great play. It really was.
Breaking the tackle, doing that
Spin.
little fucking spin move, super low to the ground, and
Like,
everybody
he's
else
just
is
sitting
standing
on
like,
the
oh
dude.
yeah, he's down. And him just taking off. That's top 10 play of the year. We witnessed. That was fantastic. Sunday night's always going to give you something.
It's real hard to root for Ezekiel Elliott when
No, that didn't crack. No, I think just for
whenever
probably.
Pollard is beating him in not only yards, but yards per carry,
Yep.
touchdowns,
Yep.
reception. No, sorry, not reception.
And they can't
receiving
cut
yards.
Zeke because they just paid him last year, I think.
Too much money.
I don't know why people still pay running backs. Running back by committee is the way to go in the modern NFL.
That's the same thing I was telling you earlier about getting skill players in the draft.
Yeah.
It's all about the intangibles anymore. You can get the same statistical measurables from a first round and a fourth round. Unfortunately, will you get the same results? No, it goes down to the intangibles at that point.
Colts O-line stinks, and I don't understand why it stinks because it's the highest paid offensive line in the NFL. I get their starting center and right tackle were out, but
Isn't the Steelers' defense the highest paid defense, and then we got what we got?
well,
Yeah, but our offense.
stinks. We're not scoring points.
Our defense wasn't too hot either. Our defense sucks without TJ.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah,
They do
really.
stink without TJ.
Why do we even pay the rest of the guys?
I don't. It's the Colts though. I don't get it. I don't. They're supposed like Quentin Nelson. Last year, people were saying like, "Oh, he's a future Hall of Famer." Like, there's no way the future. He's getting fucking bullied. Quentin Nelson's getting bullied this year. Like, you can go back on tape and watch it. You can see him getting like thrown around, and it's like, well, what happened?
He doesn't have the supporting cast around him as much anymore. I mean, the Cowboys have always had a
Before
really
Ryan
good
Kelly
line.
got hurt, he was still there. That was the starting center from last year.
Yeah, I mean,
Braden Smith, I'm pretty sure he was the starting tackle from, well, wrong side of the line. Because Braden Smith, what, right tackle, I think you said?
I think Tyron Smith used to be the left tackle.
But I don't know. Colts got shit to figure out. And with Jeff Saturday at interim, I don't see them winning more than like 3 more games. Like, not even 3. What do they got? 5 left? What's the record I have?
4-8-1.
4-8-1, so that's total of what, 13? They have 4 games left, so they have a bye week coming up and then 4 games. If they win one of them, congrats. I don't know what their schedule is, but good luck on their next 4 games.
Their next games are Vikings,
Loss,
Chargers,
loss,
Giants,
loss.
Texans.
Tie again.
No.
No, they tied the Texans at the beginning of the year. Look, very first game of the season, they tied the Texans.
That's not going to happen again.
They're going to tie again.
No.
Yep. Final, what do I say? They're going to lose 3 and then tie 1. So what does that put them at? Where are they at?
They're going to be.
4, 11, and 2.
I don't even know how many most ties in a single season.
It's going to be 2.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's going to be the Colts. That's going to actually it's going to be Colts and Texans together because they're tying each other twice in the same season since they're divisional opponents. That's actually going to be tragic.
That'd be beautiful. Yeah.
That well played Texans. well played.
That's a scoregami. How many ties can?
yeah,
That's a record you don't see.
2 teams against tying each other in the same season twice. I wonder if that has ever
There
happened.
has to
before.
be a scoregami for records too.
All right, last night's game. Last thing we're going to talk about before the MVP race. All right, you feel better now? You got to cross that off.
You gotta cross something out.
Saints 16, Buccaneers 17, and it wasn't 17 until the last 4 seconds of the game. We didn't write anything down for this because we didn't watch the highlights before.
yeah,
Because we said
okay.
we literally just watched it last night.
Yeah. We both. Yeah. I was looking for our notes. I was like,
For the most part, the game kind of sucked. First half, not very exciting. I think it went into half at like 10-3.
Taysom scored.
Taysom did score. I was super pumped about that when Taysom scored. He hit this perfect little fucking like wheel route.
Yeah.
He was lined up tight to the line, left side,
Yeah.
and a little out route, skirted up right on the sideline, and just took that to the house.
That's
I
what
was
Andy
so
Dalton
excited.
could do for you. He can drop it in the bucket.
Alexander had such a hard time believing last night that he was the backup quarterback.
Why? Because she saw him return a kick too or something.
No, because what I told her, I was like, that's the backup quarterback that just caught it. She was like, there's no way. I was like, yeah, no, seriously. I was like, he's actually like a running back. He's a fullback. He's a tight end. I was like, technically, if you look, he was lined up at tight end right there. And he went all the way out. I said, if Andy Dalton were to get hurt right now, number 7's going to be throwing passes instead of catching passes. She was like, you're joking. I was like, no, I'm not. And then I think a little bit later in the game, he came in and ran like an option play or something like that.
Yeah.
I was like, see, quarterback.
Good. This is this is gonna be a little goofy, but I'd love to see him and Tannehill on the team. Only because you take Taysom Hill, who's a quarterback who plays a lot more skill position, and you take Tannehill, who played skill position in college and
Now
plays
he's
quarterback, and we just switch them. Just get because they always give Tannehill in Madden. They always give him such high catch rating because he used to play wide receiver in college, and he hasn't caught a pass in a decade. Flacco's caught a pass more recently.
Yeah, true.
Andy Dalton's probably caught a pass more recently.
Yeah.
Last night's game, that, like I said, in that when Mark Ingram didn't go out of bounds in the fourth quarter, with like 4 or 5 minutes left, whatever it was,
Yeah.
right at the end. when he didn't go out of bounds to keep that clock running.
Yeah.
Well, when he did go out of bounds to stop the clock instead of staying in to keep
Okay.
that clock running, that ended the game. Everybody knew right then and there.
I
There was
don't-
2 scores left.
You can't blame him
Brady-
on a 2-score lead. Was it the right decision? No. Can you say that the entire game was lost because of his decision? No. Because
You could say it definitely didn't fucking help.
it did not help. But if you have a play right after that and you can't get 1 yard, and then that happens sometimes. Throw an incomplete pass. 4th down, you're up by 2 scores.
Yeah,
you
you're
choose-
punting it.
I mean, you got 2 choices because you want to control the clock. Do you give up the ball because you're punting anyway? Depends on the field position.
Yeah.
Are you gonna back them up? I don't remember what the field position was whenever they chose to punt it. It was about midfield, wasn't it?
It's getting late. It was about midfield, I think.
Yeah. So you punt it. Let's say it's a touchback. You're giving up a net of 30 yards,
Yeah.
or you can go for it. Okay,
Not-
don't get it. You're giving them the ball midfield, give or take. You're already in field goal range. They're gonna end up scoring anyway. It's Tom Brady. You know that. I know that.
But then, like, they still up in the same situation, so that's what I mean. Either way, like,
But what if they get the first down though?
they burn the clock?
They win the game.
Yeah.
So I think that's the incorrect decision. I think they should have gone for it. Then again,
But
let's
what I
say
brought up
they
to
give
you
up the
earlier.
touchdown. Let's say they give up the touchdown. You get the ball back. You're telling me you couldn't burn up that? You couldn't get 10 yards?
They couldn't. They went 3 and out.
They should have.
They didn't. They went 3 and
Then
out.
that's not on Mark Ingram.
It partially is because he was on the field for those 3 and outs. He ain't getting no yards.
It's not.
I'm just.
It's
He
not,
ain't getting
it's
no yards
not,
on
it's not
those 3 and
It's not
outs.
entirely specifically on
I'm
Mark
just-
Ingram on that one run play.
I'm just saying he
That's
ain't
the
getting
point I was
no
trying to
yards
make.
on this. He ain't get no yards on that 3 and out.
Was he on the field during those 3 and outs?
Yes.
Were they all passing plays?
I don't know. Probably.
Probably. Well, then.
They shouldn't have been.
He shouldn't have been, but
And they might have been. He might have even gotten the fucking go. You can pull up the drive results.
yeah. Let me see if I can get a play-by-play.
You can go to the next to last drive by the. All the way to the bottom.
Yeah, all the way to the bottom.
Yep. You can
Play-by-play.
Yep. Very last one. The
No.
punt by the Saints. No, not that one. The punt.
Punt. Okay, Alvin Kamara left and for 3 yards. Okay, Alvin Kamara 3 yards. Dalton sacked. Incomplete pass. Nothing to do with Mark Ingram. Why did Andy Dalton get sacked?
Because Mark Ingram probably missed the block.
Looked like Alvin Kamara was on the field.
Do you know he was on the field for that?
Yes, I was there.
No, that was 3rd down. He's the 3rd down.
No, I was there. I was working the camera.
You weren't.
What?
You weren't.
Was I here?
No.
And how do you know I wasn't there?
Because you weren't.
You wouldn't have seen me. I'm behind the camera.
What are you talking about?
What are you
guy?
talking about?
What are you talking
What are
about?
you
You're in
talking-
front of the camera right now.
That's a different camera. Anyway, not Mark Ingram's fault.
Top 5 MVPs right now.
Boom. All
What'd you
right,
find?
MVP front runners. We got number
Where'd
one.
you find this from?
This was from I think, CBS Sports.
You Googled something.
I did Google.
We did look at it. We found one source at first, and we were like, we ain't never heard of these guys, so we'll
There's
look at somebody
NBC
else.
Sports. NBC Sports.
Okay, somewhat credible.
Yes. So Mahomes, and they have their odds listed too. Mahomes is number 1,
At what? Plus,
minus 134.
that's okay.
Jalen Hurts, plus 175. Joe Burrow, plus 800.
That is a massive fucking jump, but I can understand why. But I think, go ahead.
Josh Allen, plus 1,000. Tua Tagovailoa. It's close.
Tuagavia
That's all.
Violia.
Yeah.
Tuagaviolia. Yeah, that's how I spelled it out.
Yeah, that's why he spelled it out on our listing.
But it's Tuatagavailoa.
Yes, it is. Thank you.
It's actually spelled like it's pronounced, believe it or not.
Sure. Plus 1,200.
See,
You did the plus twice.
no, it's a plus 1200.
That eraser sucks.
Anyway, this paper sucks, dude.
Yeah, I saw that. I felt it. Anyway, do you have a dark horse for this race?
Like somebody that's not listed here?
Yeah.
Yeah, easy. Gino.
Gino for the MVP race.
Yeah, 100%.
100%. I see him in the comeback. I told you about this. I told you he's gonna be a comeback player of the year
I
before the
don't-
season started.
I don't think so, because, like, how. What did he come back from?
It's
What,
not
like,
doing
what did
anything
like
last
when you
year.
think when you think of comeback player of the year, you think of Peyton Manning, the neck surgery, Adrian Peterson, the ACL.
Geno Smith, the Jets.
Yeah, like
You can't tell me those aren't comparable.
that's what I mean. Like, what is he coming back from?
The bad back from putting the Jets on his back. He put the team on his back.
Don't make no sense. It's,
He got hit by the hardest hitting DN. Jaw dislocated.
pull up the schedule for next week. Let's look at a couple games worth mentioning.
Sure, for my dark horse real quick.
Yes. Oh, I'm sorry. That's my fault.
Kirk Cousins.
Why? Because JJ is playing. JJ's balling out.
JJ's balling out. Kirk Cousins is doing good football. And everyone just sleeps on Kirk Cousins. If he goes deep into the playoffs, people will start looking. It's like, this guy might be in the argument of a top 5 QB. It took us 10 years to see it, but he might be there. Like, they're figuring it out. Okay, now we're going to start.
Thursday night football.
Week
Gotta
14.
mention it. Raiders at Rams.
Should we write
Las
down
Vegas.
predictions?
Lost. Oh, we can write down
Let's write
predictions.
down predictions. So we have these for next week.
Okay, so we got the Raiders. Actually, here we know. We'll just pick who our teams are. We'll just write down who we think's gonna win, because then it's obviously. Let's go. What is this week?
14.
14. Okay, Thursday night football. Raiders at Rams. Do you want to do the point spread?
What is the point spread?
-6 for Raiders.
Let's just do
Minus
win.
6.
Let's just do money
Okay.
line, basically.
Straight up win. Okay, what do you want? Raiders, Rams.
Raiders.
Raiders, me too. Okay. Oh. Sunday, 1 o'clock. Ravens at Steelers.
You know I want to say Steelers, but it's going to be Ravens.
What are you taking?
Ravens.
Ravens, I'm taking Steelers. Okay, Jets at Bills.
Bills.
Me too. I don't mean to be picking the same ones as you, but
No, it's just.
I mean I feel like that's the logical pick.
I mean, we only matched 2 of them.
Browns at Bengals.
Bengals.
Browns.
I wasn't expecting that one.
I want the Browns to win because they're higher up. I mean, they're lower than us, and the Bengals are higher up. So
Yeah,
the
so you want to.
I'm trying to get the Steelers up in there. You see what I'm
crawl
saying?
them way up.
This one should be relatively easy. Texans at Cowboys.
Same thing. Texans and Cowboys are the same thing.
Which one do you want?
Cowboys.
I was gonna say.
I was going to say yes, they're the same thing once again.
Yeah, I'm taking Cowboys too. That's easy. Cowboys by 100.
Them boys.
Them boys by 200. Vikings at Lions.
Vikings.
Lions.
Oh my.
Trap game, I think. Jaguars at Titans.
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 I'm not going to root for Jaguars.
Can't.
The only time I'm going
I'm
to
already,
root for
I'm,
a
already,
Jaguar.
I'm already rooting for the Browns and the Lions, alright? I can't be doing like a threesome of this stuff here. Eagles at Giants.
I think I'm going to do something. I'm going to pull a sneaky one on you. I'm going to go Giants.
Alright, I'm going Eagles.
I think that might be the only one I get wrong.
Uh-huh. Sure. Chiefs at Broncos. I'm gonna tell you right now, Chiefs.
Yeah, we know it's Chiefs.
You want the Chiefs?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I can't pick against the Chiefs, and I also cannot pick the Broncos.
No.
Buccaneers at 49ers. I want the Niners.
So I'm going to go Buccaneers. I think the Buccaneers defense is too good to go against a underdeveloped QB.
Panthers at Seahawks.
Seahawks.
I gotta go Seahawks. Like I said, I'm taking Geno for MVP, so I can't pick against them.
Not to mention it's the Panthers.
Yeah.
They haven't had a starting quarterback in 3 years, but the Broncos haven't had a starting quarterback in 10. So
All right, we got 2 more left. Sunday night football. Dolphins at Chargers.
that should be a good one. But Dolphins.
Dolphins. That's what I'm thinking. I'm taking them with you.
Yeah, I need you to write a little note underneath there. I think Waddle and Hill are both going to get 100 yards.
I'm gonna put 3 Ds.
Waddle.
I want to make sure you could see it. It was popping out at you. Get it?
Each. You know it. It's facts.
Then Monday night football. Patriots at Cardinals. That one's actually tricky. I hate.
Patriots.
I'm gonna say Cardinals.
Patriots play sound football. They're not playing up to their expectations, and they're not playing, up to their own expectations.
All right, you made one prop bet, so I'm gonna make one prop bet.
Sure.
I'm gonna say Geno Smith over 400 yards.
Play again.
The Panthers. That's a lot of yards.
You want to do
Hold
plus
on.
300? Like this ain't a Madden tournament.
Say, hold on, what did he throw this week? Because I think he threw 300 yards this week.
He threw 367.
So he might be able to throw for 4.
You gonna put 4? I'm gonna say 350. 350. Tree. Does 50.
No. Kenny Pickett.
3 interception.
No, I was gonna say.
Can you write that down for me too? Can you pick a 3
No.
interception?
No, you get 1.
They still win.
No. Kenny Pickett, 3 passing touchdowns.
I think mine's more likely. I'm sorry.
I think so too.
You should just put total TDs, so you get a chance to actually get that.
Yeah, 3 touchdowns. Just three touchdowns.
3 touchdowns.
3 touchdowns for
I don't
Kenny.
care if they're all QB sneaks.
Just 3 tutties for Kenny.
I'm not just
Can you open up FanDuel and tell me what the odds are on these? Because they definitely have. Yep, right there. Go back.
There, it was right under my thumb. That's why I didn't see it. Like, where is it?
Where is it? Where's Rachel?
Oh shoot.
This lo-fi mix is fucking popping. I don't know if you guys can hear it or not. I hope so. But like, this shit is kicking.
All right, Steelers. We're looking at same game parlay.
I use this a lot normally. Oh, they don't have those even available to parlays. No, they don't have any of the scoring. I'm looking. Scoring. Yeah, they don't even have that. Okay, so they won't have any like these options available. I'll try to keep you guys posted in a week, maybe.
Well, I might be able to do my Waddle, my receivers. Same game parlay. Yeah, not yet. Okay, it looks like we have to wait.
Yeah, I'd say it's too early in the week.
Yeah.
All right, but other than that, that's our predictions for next week. So I'm gonna try during this week sometime to try and chop these up, post out some different clips for everybody. Thank you guys for stopping by. I hope you guys enjoyed this podcast, episode 1. of hopefully many more to come. I'm
Yeah.
Freddie B 42, All Pro AJ. Follow us on Twitter. We're pretty funny. Check
Okay.
out Full Circle Golf on YouTube as well. We're gonna try to start posting to there eventually, but start here first. If you're not already, subscribe, like the video. Let me know what you want. Check out the other videos on this channel. It'd be great if you did. Like I said, we're gonna be posting more in the next week. I wasn't even close to it.
Somewhere around there. That's usually where the subscribe button is, right?
Yeah, it should be
Where are we
here.
going?
Depending on how the thing is,
Yeah.
it should be there. So
I guess
that'd
it
be
depends.
awesome. Thank you guys. I appreciate it. We're working my way up to 100, and I greatly appreciate your support. So thank you guys, and peace.